pasti murah. Bayar tagihan murah di aplikasi GoPay. Transfer 100 kali per bulan. Download aplikasi GoPay baru, nggak pakai lama. Dompet andalan gamers banyak damage-nya.
Seru pertama di Indonesia, kopi susu rasa cookies. Always ready, warnai harimu. Good Day Groovy Cookies. Nikmati sensasi asyik kopi cookiesnya.
Tak ada hari tanpa mabar. Main ngelek, kerap buatku tak sabar. Gimana mau main sampai kelar? Ini waktunya ku bersinar. Okay, let's do it. Game smash andalanku bikin mainku semakin hebat. Pin stabil main makin mulus, rankku fix naik terus. Tukar DG rings, diamond dan voucher game kau dapat. Cuma game smash makin no debat.
Game Max Booster kini dapat DG rings. Beli paketnya dan aktifkan boosternya di aplikasi Dunia Games.
変わらずやかましい奴らだ。
今度は背中合わせで行くわよ。
よっしゃ第7班ここに復活だってばよ。
Live from MPO Arena, Jakarta, MPO Indonesia Season 15 is powered by Moonton. Supported by Esports Federation of Indonesia. Presented by official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. Official e-wallet GoPay. Official sponsor Head and Shoulders. Official coffee Good Day. We own this.
Dan selamat siang para Shinobi yang telah berkumpul untuk menyaksikan hari yang ketiga di minggu yang ke-7 MPL Indonesia Season 15. Dari hari ini kita akan mencari tahu bagaimana tim-tim akan mencari tempat yang mereka tuju. Di minggu ke-7 ini kita sudah melihat ada satu tim yang tidak bisa maju ke babak playoff. Dan kita akan melihat seberapa besar chance dari tim-tim lainnya, 8 tim lainnya untuk memperebutkan 6 slot babak playoff. Dan sebelum kita membahas lebih jauh lagi, tentunya Bude ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada kalian semua dan juga khususnya kepada para sponsor dan partner. Karena MPL Indonesia Season 15 powered by Moonton, supported by PBSI, presented by official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy, official e-wallet GoPay, official sponsor Head and Shoulder, official coffee partner Good Day. Dan kita juga punya partner ini sports, ada Telkomsel, Dunia Games dan IndiHome. Tak lupa juga advertiser kita Kacang Sukro dan Hawkband. Dan juga supplier kita RSV Helmet. Dan kalau ngebahas tentang babak playoff, semuanya sudah menantikan. Apakah timnya akan mendapatkan tiket babak playoff? Dan ternyata di match pembukaan ini, kita bisa mencari tahu bersama-sama. Bisa jadi satu tiket playoff didapatkan oleh tim RRQ. Mereka bisa jadi tim pertama yang akan mengamankan tiket playoff dengan kemenangan hari ini jika mereka menang. Namun lawan RRQ hari ini adalah lawan di musim-musim lalu yang pernah menjadi momok bagi tim RRQ. Geek Fam, The Kingslayer. Mereka pernah benar-benar bisa menaklukkan RRQ. Namun di leg 1 RRQ bisa mendapatkan kemenangan. Bagaimana halnya di leg yang kedua? Karena tim RRQ dan juga Geek Fam sama-sama berada di top 2. Mereka saling mengejar satu sama lain. Dan kalau ngebahas Geek Fam, performa dari tim Geek Fam sedang naik-naiknya. Jadi ini kan menjadi pertarungan yang dinantikan di mana kedua tim sedang berada di pucuk, sedang di masa prima mereka. Dan kalau ngebahas tentang kedua tim ini, kita nggak boleh lupa terhadap impact dari kedua roamer. Dari tim RRQ ada Idok, dari tim Geek Fam ada Baloy. Baloy dari musim ke musim perkembangannya begitu berasa bukan hanya dari dirinya sendiri namun dari timnya. Dan kalau Idok, kita akan bahas lebih lanjut bersama dengan satu ini. Lebih dalam lagi karena ini akan memperjelas apa impact Idok di timnya. Leaderboard MVP diisi oleh Idok. Satu-satunya roamer yang masuk ke dalam leaderboard. Dan bahkan kita lihat di musim-musim lalu sebelum-sebelumnya sangat jarang roamer masuk ke dalam leaderboard. Berarti kita bisa tahu impactful dari seorang Idok. Kita bisa kilas balik juga dari sebelumnya Dangki, seorang roamer yang benar-benar bisa membawa bahkan nama Indonesia pula. Jadi dari musim ke musim terus lahir sosok roamer-roamer yang bisa membawa dampak yang besar, impactful yang besar. Ada Leo Murphy, ada Kiboy juga. Dan kali ini sepertinya di belah tengah roamer Idok yang membawa benar-benar suasana baru di setiap game, di setiap matchnya nama Idok. Apalagi ketika dia
good pick before the Dewa match, but he made it work against Dewa. They have to do a lot. They have, I mean, the preparation must be perfect for Geek Fam right now to beat RRQ, because for RRQ, they have so much more comfort picks over Geek Fam. For Geek Fam, I can name a few again. Suyo, Fanny, only for May Kids. For Rome, I think it's just Cho. The Hellcurt is more of like a, yeah, it's comfort, but it's not really that meta. Harith for Chidera and Moscow. And that's it. But for RRQ, Dyron has expanded his hero pool. Edok has expanded his hero pool. Sutsujin is as deadly as ever on Joy and Haya.
That's what I was about to say as well. The fact that Chidera is now in the lineup, obviously, the critics always towards him. A limited hero pool, they say. Harith, maybe Moscow. If Claude is feasible to be played in a draft, he will take the Claude, but again, it's not really a top prio pick for Geek Fam when it comes to the Claude because of how, power crept this hero has been. But for RRQ, it seems like they have so much options in their hands. Again, Edok can play the Franco, he can play the Cho, he can also play the Chip. This is a pick that is actually, lavished by RRQ so far. So, what do you think will Geek Fam do? Try to, counter and stop all these picks from happening.
I think that's a very interesting angle to observe this from. The fact that both teams have a great way to utilize their macro potential. Any kind of low Gs, any kind of chips for both Geek Fam and RRQ can really perform well. I think both these teams can work with those picks very, very well. But because there's also prio in the other comfort picks, like Mirko mentioned, the Hayabusa, the Joy, the Harith, the Granger even, right? You do wonder if maybe both teams are going to be looking more towards those picks and leaving open a lot of those macro tools.
Yeah, and here we go to the first drafting phase, presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series, Geek Fam and RRQ. Of course, two bans, Fanny and Harith taken out. The Harith try to creep down options for Chidera. Meanwhile, the Joy taken out of respect of Sutsujin.
They have to. The Joy, again, is a deadly pick when on the hands of Sutsujin. But I think RRQ have done the same thing, right? We've been talking about the Fanny, the Harith, those really, really good picks for Geek Fam, and they take it out instantly. With the Joy already banned out, I think RRQ will be looking to also deny, if Geek Fam also ban out the Hayabusa, RRQ will try to deny the Suyo by picking it first. Kimmy, though, will be taken away.
Yeah, it was a toy pick yesterday against EVOS. And by the way, I spoke a bit with Maykids earlier today. That was and we talked about how he feels up against Sutsujin. He says, man, Sutsujin is insane. Yeah. I need to respect him, but I'm confident for today's match. So obviously, the confidence is still there for Make It. It's one of the up-and-coming superstars here in MPL ID Season 15, but the Chusin taken out. Again, another Rinse staple. So the Chusin is very, very good for RRQ in the laning phase and for the rotational plays.
Right. So with that already banned out here, what's going to be the first option? It really seems like RRQ wants to curb the aggression, but with the chip available, do they want to go for it? We've seen Edok try and find ways to circumvent the nerfs to the chip. The fact that now the shortcut doesn't really guarantee a big engage, he has been really creative in the order of which he uses his skills on that chip to really guarantee a catch for his team. But against Geek Fam, a team that knows how to deal with such macro pressure, we'll have to see how well Edok can perform. As for Geek Fam, the Kalea, still a very good flex pick for Geek Fam. And what's the second pick they're gonna reveal here? That's the big question. Ovis.
Yep. Team fighting potential. Check on Geek Fam. Meanwhile, for RRQ, it's comfort and global presence. In the hands of Edok, Chip is indeed a very, very good pick. Now, RRQ, how do they want to respond to this pick?
Well, they can obviously just go for the Hayabusa. It's been a really good pick. But they go Suyo instead. All right, Suyo and the glue. So the glue kind of, it is really good against Phobius, to be fair. And the Suyo does combo really well with the chip. So it kind of forces Geek Fam now to go for the Hayabusa, right? If they don't go for jungle here, they're going to have a tough time. Unless they want to save a Fredrin for later. But I think RRQ should know about that plan. They've seen it before.
Can you imagine they go and pick up a Faramis right here and then try and, confuse RRQ and what jungle they're going to bring it with the potential for the Fredrin to show up?
They could.
That would be an interesting angle. We'll see how that goes. But the fact that the Suyo gets picked up by Sutsujin, we already mentioned how this guy is lethal on the Joy and the Hayabusa. Now he's going to try and prove himself on the Suyo against one of the more well-known Suyo players in the league.
The most well-known one. There, this one is out. The main counter to Blue to be picked up. It's great against Chip too.
Yeah, and it really prolongs Geek's presence in the team fights, right? With the realm as well, you have that second bar of life. So obviously they can really outfight RRQ, out-sustain, given if RRQ wants to skirmish every now and then. The second phase of the bans coming in, no marksman being picked up just yet, so that could be a consideration for both teams.
Look at the cheer for your team, though. RRQ.
Hey, unfair.
RRQ.
Are you trying to say Kingdoms are the best fans in MPL ID?
I'm just saying, that's a one-sided cheer situation, man. The Geek Fam Unity, where are the Shevins in the building?
Well, clearly, there's only 256 of them right now, Arashi. The Kingdom are really chanting for the Kingslayer's head.
Indeed.
Important match as well for them because they need to get this win to progress to the playoffs. Golden ticket in their hands.
All right, looking at it though, RRQ are aware of the potential to go for that Fredrin, go for the sustain type deal when in the middle of a big fight. Geek Fam aware that with a Farsa, the Faramis can get bursted down and immediately everyone in the Netherrealm gets locked in stasis. That's the worst case scenario they want to avoid, which kind of means that they're going to have to pay attention to all the other long-range burst mages. So we'll see if that's the angle they continue to operate from. But for RRQ, after the Fredrin, what other options are available if they want to narrow down the jungle pick even more?
Hayabusa, Alpha, those are the two picks that come to mind. Because, I mean, for Geek Fam, I think they're going to ban out Eve too, right? If they've already banned out Farsa, are they going to go all the way? There you go, by banning out the Eve. Eve does do really well against the Faramis, both the AoE. Actually, all 4 of the AoE mid laners that have been on the hands of Rins before has been taken out. Now, kind of only leaving him on Sicilion.
3 mid lane bans for Rins. Sicilion
Valen.
pull up in the cards. Valentina as well.
Valen's a good pick.
I was thinking they were going to let go of the Fredrin and then go for like the Valir. You know, because against the Phobius, the Fredrin against a Valir, you're basically non-existent, bro. You're just getting stunned again and again.
Knocked back.
But now without the Fredrin in the picture, I wonder if that's a bit too much to commit. They have to wait and see what Geek Fam wants to go with here before they make that call. They go for the X-Borg Bando. Okay, interesting.
Really speculating an X-Borg pick in the jungle could still happen.
Yeah.
The X-Borg banned out here, so obviously again narrowing down the options. Naya Hayabusa should be taken by Geek Fam here. Maybe they could wait for the last pick because again practically RRQ has sealed their jungle, so maybe pick up the marksman here.
Yeah.
Moskov maybe?
I think it's going to be Moskov. Valentina and Valir are both still up for grabs for RRQ. They need some way to threaten the backline, and I think, you know, yeah, Moskov works in that sense.
I think Lucas might show up for a Geek Fam here.
No, they're not going to pick it up here. If they do, that's risky because the Valen's still up for grabs.
Maybe for last pick, huh?
They go Claude. They have to save the jungle for last here. They don't need to reveal their card just yet. They can go for the Claude. It's a safe choice. Again, Jadera's comfort is either Moskov, Claude, both Blink heroes that can split push. But not for RRQ. They're going to go for the good old Granger. Valir or Valen in the mid lane then.
Obviously poking Geek Fam till eternity and maybe just forcing out the Netherrealms. And now last pick for RRQ. The mid, Valentina. Okay.
So no Lucas.
Well, most likely no Lucas. What a throwback though, now the Valentina and Faramis. We haven't seen these two picks being super prio in a long, long time. That used to be the meta for the longest time. Final pick for Geek Fam, the Ling.
Oh, that's
bold.
Bold indeed. Well, you need bold if you want to beat RRQ. They're number 1 in the standings. They've been the most consistent, most dominant team in Indonesia. If you want to play it safe, it's as good as just saying GG to RRQ.
All right,
and take risks.
Immediately though, the first thing I want to see is how badly this new glue is countered by the Faramis. Because now you have that split effect on a...
Spread.
The spread. It's not just on your ultimate, so there's more ways for the Faramis to actually burst you down, even before you fully commit in a fight. I want to see how that works out, because I haven't really experienced it myself.
Well, of course, the lineup rating for both teams, the considerable amount of point goes to RRQ, but now, of course, to open up the first match of today, RRQ with the golden ticket in their eyes. Meanwhile, Geek Fam still. The Kingslayers, will they be able to hold on to their moniker? It is game number 1 of RRQ Hoshi against Geek Fam.
Cast your predictions in the chat right now. Will it be RRQ or will it be the Kingslayers, Geek Fam?
Let's see, man. The laning phase, I think, is going to show us a lot of information here. In the EXP lane, in theory, it's going to be Dairon on the glue, bullying Gobs for sure. But with that pressure, what are they going to do? The same thing can be said for the gold lane, and we've seen RRQ play super aggressive once they have that side lane pressure, try and translate that into dominant moves towards the opponent's side jungle. So make no mistake, EVOS is going to be on the hunt for opportunities more so than those actual pickups. Already a play around the Litho here, though.
Flicker from a boy already, by the way, so Tsujin will take the Litho Wanderer. That's information, valuable one, without a boy having the Flicker. Beloyski gets away.
Again, so much proactivity with EDOC holding the chip in his hands. It really just unlocked a lot of potential and a lot of control for RRQ the upcoming minutes. And Geek Fam, they have to be content on waiting for the Link to be online, because early game, the Link can't really do much. But the emblems now, Arashi, anything you can spot?
Well, common emblem along with the agility and Master Assassin for Chidera, just to survive in the lanes for the most part. Rins getting pulled back.
Rins caught very low. EDOC as well. Pops the Crash Course just to run away quick. Beloyski was able to do that much damage alone on Chip.
That's just the damage potential that Geek Fam has right now. That's why the Kalia is so good. You do damage, but you also heal your teammates. Look at this though. RRQ looking for a play. EDOC.
Whoa, crash course. Beloyski can still sustain. The boy will be able to get that stampede down to walk across the wall. Dyron in the mid lane, getting enough XP for both Rins and himself to get 4. Beloyski jumping in all alone, has to flicker out. That should be a green light for RRQ to go for it for free. A boy walks up one more time. Akins is still on the purple buff. We'll go for the pitch force. Has to be such a Dalvon. Akins getting the retry win. Beloyski gets first blood. It's another realm against another realm, but it's not going to be a fight that RRQ can take. Not with Sutsujin down. Tsunami slam. Dyron lifted up, thrown down, and taken out by a boy.
Look at the longevity that Geek Fam has with this composition. EDOC wants to go for seconds. He's gonna be fine. But yeah, Geek Fam, their sustain is just incredible, and Make it with the steal towards the turtle.
That was all Gobs, dude. The fact he walked up there in the midst of all the danger and found a knock-up onto Sutsujin, pressuring him, getting him low enough that I think it just threw off RRQ's coordination. It seemed like they were trying to sneak the turtle off before Geek Fam can even notice, can even react. But because it took too long there, because they had their other members scouting, looking out for Geek Fam, instead of bursting down the turtle, Geek Fam were able to get into that fight. And with the Netherrealm, with the Phobias at their disposal as well, that's a lot of fighting prowess in the early game.
And of course, talent predictions by the new application go pay full house. Unanimous decision. No dissentments whatsoever. Maybe it's just me and Lim with one game for Geek Fam.
Where's Mr. Pulung? That's the immediate question.
He's not casting.
He's stolen. Dyron kidnapped him.
All right. With a dominant prediction here for RRQ, Geek Fam definitely are working against the odds. But so far, they've been able to actually get a bit of an advantage, and they're still controlling the game pretty well.
Oh, Tsunami Slam, Chain CC with Gobs as well. And for the pursuit down, Dyron gets a beating. Takes a beating, but will be able to escape with the spread.
Feels like a lot of pressure exerted by Geek Fam now. They have the control needed so far, as Beloyski is so proactive as well. The Kalea unlocks a lot of things. Shadera with the Blazing Duet clears top side, so no shove towards the turret whatsoever.
Immediately you can see the control from Geek Fam. They're gonna for sure be using Gobs here to really pressure the members of RRQ if possible. He's really waiting around here trying to find the initial engage, and EDOC isn't really in the flanking angle to try and catch Geek Fam off guard.
Turtle next on the menu for Geek Fam. They're able to outfight RRQ at least in the stage of the game. Naked is also online.
Toy gonna be engaged on a full dive to the Nirvana. Oh, Toy taken out by a boy. Another round to counter the shortcut. Naked takes 2 blades. Sutsujin dumps in with the blade surge. Will be able to catch a boy. He's gonna be caught and taken down. Sutsujin claims the kill. But a boy spawns instantly back in the Lanadon.
The Faramis passive prepares Geek Fam for a potential turtle contest here. As RRQ, they have to recall on their end. But Geek Fam's just gonna let this out in the open air.
It's back to a waiting game here for both teams. Look at this, man. Geek Fam have so much more sustain built in, basically. RRQ now have some control, and for now they do have the numbers advantage, but they have no idea where...
Whoa! That's your answer! You still get deleted! Maybe even more so. Holy moly!
Even more so.
With the full stacks on Shadera too, you gotta remember, that's why the Claw gets so much value against the glue.
They did a great job. They did a great job just picking all these heroes that get full value from going up against a hero that gives you multiple targets. Even Gobs and the Phobias, technically, is going to be able to sustain a lot better with all of these, these blobs that he can actually just smash on to regen. So man, we're already seeing that being a massive problem here. RRQ, they're basically playing with Dyron being a non-factor.
Now the glue has to be content with the fact that Geek Fam have ways to deal with this glue. A topside take.
They're not going to do it. No way to take the shortcut there.
Yeah, they're saved. So no turret taken down as of yet. But RRQ, they need to rethink their decisions because so far Geek Fam are always on the hunt. Do RRQ, go for the fight because it feels like they're losing in every end.
You gotta go for the right fights. That's a question. Oh, EDOC flickers out. Oh, Beloy.
Flicker Tsunami Slam makes it right there as well. EDOC, can he pop the shortcut in time? Goes with the crash course, but will be slain by Beloy. Makens! Jumps in, Defiance Blade into the back. Oh! Good tap by Toy, but Beloy flickers forward to get the kill back. Rins steals the Infernal Pursuit. Suyo still down below with a tier 2 threatened. Geek Fam will get a trade up top with a tier 1.
The King Slayers, their eyes focused on each Kings in the castle. And RRQ, they need to wait for a bit longer.
Shadera gang plays a duet, immobilized, but takes it. Hold up, comes to another round. Was he able to get a kill onto him? Got to the chase, goes for the flicker. Sutsujin going to be taken very low. Has the surge, but gets caught in the Infernal Pursuit.
The portal works for both teams. RRQ have to remember that. Yes. Well, 1 second to go. The turtle does spawn right now. Geek Fam doing a great job winning out in the brawls, but they gotta maintain this control. They do have the Ling with the scaling here from Makekids, so they can take this game. They can take it easy. There's no urgency for anything. And with a boy picking up the Lightning Truncheon, the new Lightning Truncheon, with the zapping lightning going around to every single member, that's better wave clear and better burst potential. So RRQ, if they're concerned about the burst earlier, it's gonna get even worse now.
splash damage as well to clear the blobs that Tyron might pose. But so far, feels like RRQ are kind of clueless in what they have to do. Geek Fam are always bringing the fight onto their faces, even with the shortcut in hands of EDOC. A salvage is trying to happen, but Geek Fam always come out on top. So what's the winning condition for RRQ, Arashi?
They have to make sure that they go for a shortcut play and they don't get countered for it. Because again and again, every single time they go for a shortcut play, the first time was on the top side, and that was already basically a full-blown team fight, where the shortcut was kind of a backup call. And then afterwards, it was that pickup attempt that got countered because the members of Geek Fam funneled through as well. So they gotta control the waves initially, right? And then find the pickups where Geek Fam can't really force them into a fight, because just by matchup alone, especially with the glue Faramis factor, they just can't really win out right now without an X factor, some kind of surprising moment, some kind of flank, or a neutral objective. Okay, Boloski though.
Look at Tsunami Slam, following it through. Sutsujin will be able to survive against two. Boloski and Chidera unable to get it done now. He's bought enough space for Granger, Toy, to take a turret up top.
Yep. Golden Staff for Chidera. Just try to hasten his presence in the team fights as well for RIQ now. At least they have Rinse to bank on. I mean, with the IMU, another realm could really change the game. Maybe with the Tsunami Slam as well. A big cost might happen. Boloski
trying to bait out Purify, won't be able to. Rins gets away with a dash. Make-Kids onto the turn he goes. Divine Blade ready with the Tempest Blaze as well. Will be able to force out a Flicker. Out of Toy. Tyrant trying to go for the flank. Dog! Shortcut coming down. Able to go with the VMI. Tyrant in the back line again. He's boy walking out Tsunami Slam to try to get the passive. Meanwhile, Make-Kids still dealing damage onto Edog. Tyrant has mounted Chidera, but it's onto it. The turret he goes.
A Hail Mary play from the Kings, but still it won't work. Because what is a king in the eyes of King Slayers?
That was a risky play that RRQ took there. They tried to go for Chidera, using Edok to really flank around with Sutsujin, but unfortunately for them, Chidera was able to get some distance, and just like that, that's the full all-in. The playmaking that Edok usually gets done for his team just isn't as strong on a hero like the Chip. They've got to really, now I guess, stall the game out even longer, wait till both teams are kind of scaling, and wait for that shortcut to actually be a deciding factor here. Although with Make-Kids in the picture, it really won't be that simple even if the game goes later on. And we've already highlighted that RRQ, one of the win conditions that people have used against them is taking them to that late game where the factors are just a bit more sporadic. That's where Boloski really shines too.
And by the way, 10 kills for Geek Fam without a single kill on their cores, on their hyper carries. Is that going to bite them back in the late game? Because they need their kills, but so far they're diving in.
Ghostbursters and the Stampede Rins able to escape with a sliver of HP. Up top, it's a 1v1, Make-Kids versus Sutsujin. Enhanced Lord in the mid lane, getting another tier 2 as Chip. Edok will look for a flank. There's no conceal on Geek Fam's side. A boy looks like he's going to be walking right into it. Edok pops in a shortcut and the Clash Course. A boy pops into the realm, able to get it in time. Edok taking down Boloski. Look at the play, goes in. That's another realm already used. And Tsunami Slam. Tyrant taken low. What? Sutsujin dives into all of them. He just shut down. But I don't think that was worth it. A boy mounted, but Chidera does not care. Geek Fam 3-1.
That was a 4v5. Make-Kids was upstairs, chilling. And now they lose 3. Geek Fam might just try to engage.
Toying with a Death Sonata. A sentence to Make-Kids as Rins walks up, tries to go for more. Another Terrify. Flicker from goal! Gets a kill. Chidera in the back still, waiting for an angle to BMI.
A lot of miscalculations for RRQ, and they're going for all these risky plays. Really uncharacteristic. Geek Fam are getting the better of them. Again, just by playing the template basic game. Won't be any shortcut attempts right now from Edok. But as you mentioned, realize Chidera, he had no kills earlier, but he has picked up 3 right there. He has a Marksman Trinity and a Wind of Nature as well. So it's going to be on the hands of Rins to really be a real threat right here. And he still has to be concerned about using the Netherrealm at the right moment. On the flip side, a boy, as long as he doesn't make any fatal mistake, he's not even running the Purify, and he's just chilling, staying in the back, outputting the damage, and going with the Netherrealm when RRQ are going for that one play, because they know when the fights are back and forth, RRQ are the ones at a disadvantage, because all their ultimates are very committal.
Yeah. It feels like Faramis is a boy classic. This is old school boy we're looking at, and he's very, very impactful in this hero so far. Like I said, without the Purify, he's able to style in RRQ. So Lord spawns now RRQ. They need a Hail Mary play to save game number 1. Queen's Wings in the hands of Sutsujin to try to mitigate more damage in the hands of Geek Fam, but Geek Fam that fry on the Lord.
Yep. Looks like he's going to try to blitz it. Rin steals away the Netherrealm from a boy. Make-Kids on it. Edok in the back line. Boloski going to be able to lock him down. Make-Kids wins out. Shortcut plays out. Edok, oh, burst it out by Make-Kids. Netherrealm for Geek Fam. Saved out. Oh, Sutsujin gets a stun at the Soul Center. But Chidera will wipe him down. Meanwhile, in the back again, it's Gods having a field day. Make-Kids with the assassination. Tyrant, the only man left standing, knocked up. Make-Kids finds a triple. The only king that the Geek Fam recruits wants to bend the knee to is Boloski.
The King Slayers swing their swords They rumble on the castle walls and they take game number 1. Will they be the ones to spoil the King's feast?
Oh man, RRQ. They were pressured, outsmarted, outmaneuvered at every single turn there. It all started from the drafting phase, and we already highlighted the concern there. The glue against the Paramis, and it was certainly a big problem. RRQ had no real frontline to speak of. I think it was powerless. The only real saving grace there was Toy, but in the end there, despite his best efforts, he could not get away from Maykids as well. It was just a game that Geek Fam had to stay consistent to win.
Wow, what a performance from everybody. And that Geek Fam lineup, I mean, Gobs was just being Gobs, Maykids, the chase down a boy. What a performance, 6-2 and 10. And just becoming the frontline as well for Geek Fam to save them from troubles. And Chadera has proven to be able to scale to the late game with Claude, a staple pick of his. And Geek Fam with not just a 1-0, but that was a convincing win. I would say it was one-sided. RRQ didn't have a chance. In a team fight, in a skirmish, they weren't able to win a single one.
The Faramis pick, the Ling pick in the end as well. You gotta go bold. Man, winning out that first red tree win on the Turtle, getting the team fight as well, really stopped RRQ's plans. Like, RRQ were planning to just snowball out of control with a Suyo, with a control over neutral objective. Getting Turtle 1 was a big part of how they could actually make that win condition happen.
By all means, they also did a great job, Geek Fam, by avoiding a lot of the shortcut moments. They played it calm, cool, collected, and waited for the big 5v5s to really happen. And a boy here, damn, what is that damage, dude? That's 3 members basically chunked out to half HP with a single Ghostbursters. That's the problem when you have, you know, the glue, multiple blobs stacked up against you, man. And in the end here, they keep going for these all-in plays, but they just can't compete with the burst damage. And their marksman isn't exactly a burst marksman either. It's kind of a more of a kitey marksman, so the whole composition just did not work at all.
The man on your screen, of course, is your MVP. Presented by the official smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. It is a boy. This guy is a menace. We talked about his sparks back in season 13, 14, 15. He was in a bit of a slump, but now he's back to his best, I would say.
Back on a signature pick, Faramis.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've seen a Faramis.
Old school boy.
But aside from the Faramis, man, oh man.
Damage.
That's some damage. Yikes. But also, man, I think Gobs did a great job in this game too. Always engaging it in the... Still engaging at the right moment, at the right time, finding times to really disrupt the right members from RRQ, especially when they're trying to go for that kind of dive.
Yeah, that's true. Look at Maykids. It feels like he's so relentless in pursuit, on his pursuit of the Kings. And so far, yeah, they tried a lot of plays from the back, desperation plays, if you would say so, with the shortcut from behind, hitchhiking a ride as well. But it feels like Geek Fam always has a spotter and trying to pinpoint the shortcut plays. It was Beloyski most of the time to try to spoil the plans of RRQ. And those shortcut plays, I feel like what had happened as well, Geek Fam were just out-damaging RRQ.
It really looked kind of mindless as we got here. Again, it just like RRQ were throwing bodies, hoping for a win. They were literally just gambling with the skirmish, but a lot of that, well, at least in this team fight, it was kind of forced out by Geek Fam. Geek Fam had the control over the neutral objective. They blitzed it instantly. And again, to bring up the quote that we were talking about early before the matchup, I think it was from Niall. Beloyski never hesitates. When he makes a call, everybody has to follow through. That was the whole plan, and the call there was to blitz the Lord. We don't need to go and Lord dance when we're up against a chip, when we're winning early game. We need to force the enemies to fight us, and we've been able to win 5v5. So it was, again, a very decisive call that made RRQ also make their own decisive call. The call for RRQ, it would have been 2 options. Both are bad options. Stay up top, get a tier 2 for the Lord, or come over and fight a team that has beaten you in every 5v5 in the game so far.
Yeah. It is insane, absolutely crazy from Geek Fam, and their dominance asserted in game number 1. Take a look at the items. Anything in particular, Arashi?
I mean, there's not much to say for the most part. RRQ are counted more from the execution more so than the itemization, by all means. I mean, it's worth note that Dion on the glue went for the Athena, and it doesn't matter, like, at all, right? And even if he does survive, the rest of the team will pay the price for giving up all those bounces from the Ghostbursters. So I really felt like RRQ, they tried to go for the Faramis to try and match the sustain of Geek Fam, but in the first place, their composition doesn't really work well against that sustain either. I feel like this was a safer option, but if they really wanted to go, especially for some of those really risky plays, those Hail Mary attempts, they really should have gone for something that can enable that a bit more. I mean, after picking up the chip there, a bit more burst damage would be nice, a bit more crowd control perhaps, because the issue is that every single time they even go for a huge attempt towards Kadera, towards Make-Its. That's how they like to win those late-game, mid-game to late-game situations. They take out the main damage dealer, and then they just win out the fight, because in theory, if your main damage dealer, the gold laner, is alive, you're going to win out the fights. But because they didn't have any other tools, aside from the shortcut, aside from the stun from the Suyo, which is very basic, very small, the Valentina Terrify, they have no tools here to really enable a lot of those pick-off attempts. So I feel like they kind of got caught off guard with the Paramis, and then they tried to adapt and pivot, and then they ended up with a jack of all trades, master of none at all type situation.
I feel like RQ, we're also lacking with a easy point-click CC compared to like maybe a Kalea, a Tsunami Slam that could just bring you with one tap. And I think for RQ Hoshio, of course, this pick was a little bit ambitious, but what do you think would be a good alternative for the glue? Because it feels like the glue was just taken out of the picture in that game.
Hylos.
Yeah, I was about to say, at this point, right, if you want a frontliner that can match well against the Phoveus, the Hylos is a much better pick with the Faramis in the conversation here. Without the Faramis, though, I still think that to a degree, right, unless RRQ are really planning on just diving all the way to the backline, it's a whole different story. I'm wondering if they expected Geek Fam to go for some kind of long-range backline mage for a boy, because that's where the glue can kind of zone him out and kind of be useful. But even against a Faramis, even not against a Faramis, the glue doesn't really do much when it comes to frontlining for the team. He's more of a dive-in type hero. And if you want to dive into the excitement, you better get on the Samsung train, bro.
Yep, Geek Fam or gaming. And if you really want to talk about gaming, the latest Samsung Galaxy S25 series is the real champion, the real gamer. This is a gamer. This smartphone is incredibly powerful for gaming thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy processor built on a 3nm technology, making it the fastest processor ever in a Samsung Galaxy device. With this cutting-edge performance, your gaming experience is super duper smooth and totally lag-free.
Loading into the game right now.
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to show you a bit of that amazing, awesome experience.
It is said that with this phone, it's easy to get maniacs and savages.
I mean, that's how the players are able to do so, right? Yeah. When they have that kind of clarity in the midst of a big team fight, that's how you get those kills rolling in. And don't forget, aside from just the performance on the games, you can also use that Gemini AI feature, bro. Yeah. Right? You can talk about anything to it. You can try chat with it. Like, Mirko, you want to try and show the audience?
Yo, who's going to win MPL Indonesia? Wait, let me tap it. Yo, who's going to win MPL Indonesia?
This yo.
Gemini.
Gemini's still sleeping.
I'm calling. You know what? I'm just gonna call. Call Gemini.
Call Gemini. And obviously,
quick.
Gemini?
Still Gemini?
I'm still sleeping.
It's so lifelike, bro. This is what happens when I try and reach out to my friends as well.
Who is going?
They're sleeping.
MPL Indonesia.
Who? Is it a he or a she?
It could be whatever you want.
Exactly.
Just a sec.
Whoa. You came up with a whole paragraph.
Yeah. It likes to specify things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Should I just read it out then?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do it.
Okay. I've gathered information on the current MPL Indonesia. I don't like the answer, never mind.
You don't like the answer?
You
don't like
say BTR.
See, it gives you realistic answers.
That's true.
If it doesn't really adjust to your worldview, it is what it is, bro. We can't help you with that.
If you're like me, you don't have friends to talk to.
Oh, what?
You can always have a friends. I'm kidding. You're my friend.
Yeah.
You're my friend.
I'm leaving.
Arashi's leaving for 2 reasons. Because Relight just said he's not a friend, and RQ's lost game number 1.
Oh no.
He wants to go backstage. But obviously, there's one thing that can make him leave this desk. It's the Team Galaxy Zone Cam by Samsung Galaxy. So if you have your Samsung Galaxy phone, you can always flex it in the Team Galaxy Zone Cam. Look at that.
Wait.
Mr. Kingdom in the building.
That's an RQ fan who's sitting on the Geek Fam side.
Yeah.
Hey, interesting.
That's the privileges
Game
you get.
is game, my friend. Game is game.
That's indeed. And if you're going to get in on the Samsung game, make sure that you get it now, because there's a cashback up to 3.5 million IDR, and you can get 6 months of Gemini Advance for free. Hurry up and buy it now, because the promo ends on May the 15th, 2025. So exclusive for MPL viewers, you can get a free 25-watt travel adapter and a shop app e-voucher worth IDR of 500,000 using the voucher code S25MPL.
Check it out right now, guys, all right? S25, it's a lifesaver for me. When I play the Suyo, it just feels so much better when I'm on that S25. And I think speaking of the Suyo, we gotta go back to the point, again, that we were talking about Suyo Fanny. For Sutsujin, it's just not his comfort pick, right? He doesn't do that well on those picks. If they want to win this game, then go higher. But if they do want to continue to practice on the Suyo, I think this is not a bad performance. It's not a bad plan, actually, for RRQ. Yeah. Again, they basically almost qualified upper brackets. They've already almost confirmed it. Might as well start to learn the Suyo and the Fanny. Might as well start to put Sutsujin on the picks that he's not too comfortable on to make him comfortable on it by the time playoffs come.
Or maybe they could try out Chen.
Try out what?
Try out Chen.
Oh,
wait a second.
Make him prepared for playoffs.
Sorry.
Who knows?
For me, I think Chen is more of a slot filler because Hazel is in Malaysia. I don't think they promoted him with the idea to actually use him.
Okay. Now, of course, all-time MPL ID Claude stats analysis. All-time leaders are Rand, CW, Skylar, Chidera, and Watt. But let me ask you guys a question. If I say Claude, who's the first pro player to pop up in your mind?
Huh.
For me, it's CW.
Wow.
Really?
W. For me, it's Skylar.
I think it's Skylar still for me, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true, because Blazing Duet from
Blazing Duet
Skylar!
from Skylar.
Yeah, you were quoting that a lot, realized back when it happened.
What about Beatrix? When you think about Beatrix, who comes up?
Skylar.
Oh, wow.
Runner's
For me-
apathy from Skylar!
Wait, see, for Claude, I think it's Skylar. For Beatrix, I actually think Oheb.
Oheb.
Yeah.
Oh no, for me it's
Galera?
no.
I mean,
Doming.
Oh my god.
Doming.
Relax.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's cool though to see the performance of the Claude and how it kind of fell out of the meta, but somehow it's still standing on a very respectable win rate here. Very interesting.
But I think one of the best Claude plays ever to happen was Season 13 finals. Lower bracket finals.
Yeah,
that saving grace Blazing Duet by Brands. The EVOS against Geek Fam based defense. That was insane, by the way. One of the best games ever, I think.
Ooh. I mean, with the environment, with that atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
We might get a sneak peek of that very soon, guys.
Hey.
Season 13, Velodrome. I'm not sure, but it is definitely a possibility for us to have it again in Season 15.
Yeah. That was my first playoffs, by the way. And the first time I've ever casted in such a big venue. And with the supporters, it's
Which one's
chanting.
better, Bandom or Velodrome?
Ooh. I don't know. I think I'll stick with Velodrome.
Dude, for atmosphere, I agree. I think it's Velodrome by a long shot. For
the
atmosphere.
vibes, for the vibes.
But for Bandung,
yeah.
Bandung, man.
Bandung, bro. That was a good time.
It was a good time.
The traffic wasn't on the way there.
Yeah, that's true.
On the way back as well. But that's a good time.
It was
I
a
went in the morning, 2 a.m.
You know who didn't have a good time? Toy.
Ooh.
He didn't have a good time because he was trying to get online, get his stacks going with the Sky Piercer, but Chidera was able to get inches further compared to Toy. But yeah, I think in a certain scenario as well, the Granger, I think it was very hard for him to really operate in the lineup as well because you have so much layers in Geek Fam in which you have to pierce, not to mention yet again the realm, so the Granger was having a hard time there.
I think a marksman with more AoE would have been much more beneficial there. I believe the idea, again, is to just snowball, get those picks from the early game, get Toy rolling. And, you know, when a Granger is snowballing hard, even the best frontliners really do struggle. They get poked down really well. But the issue is they weren't able to do so, right? So it's a plan that really hinges on everything going well. And against Geek Fam, you just always have this feeling that things can go well, but how well really, right? When the team you're up against gets stronger with every death, up to 7 deaths, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? It can go well, but how long can that last?
Bro, this is scary now, though. Geek Fam, blue side, they got those big picks on red. Now, RQ, remember, they still have to ban Fanny. They're going to also have to ban Chip, I feel, right? Because you don't want Chip on the hands of BBB, brother.
Yeah. I think for RQ, a lot of things to ban as well. But for Geek Fam, I think in this series, or rather this match, they're going to permaban the Joy. What you think? Because it is really a Citizen staple pick. And not giving him the Joy, forcing him on uncomfortable picks like the Suyo, the Fanny, it doesn't really give him as much agency compared to the Joy. So I feel like the Joy is basically going to be non-existent in this match.
Fist bump. Chidera getting that fist bump.
Lumpy.
One of Beloyski's monsters here. He's doing the Wakanda Forever pose for some reason.
The Wakanda Forever pose. Oh, was he feigning sleepiness there, Chidera? Is that a bit of a message? He went like, ooh. Kind of nodded off.
Whoa. Is this a sleepy matchup, Chidera?
He's dozing off. He's trying
to say, don't sleep on my performance.
Oh, we're definitely not going to sleep on his performance, especially when he gets his comfort picks in the Claude, Moskov. Geek with first pick, RQ instantly. Kalea.
Kalea Lucas.
Wait, is this Geek Fam going for the Onyx PH blueprint? The Lucas into Harith, man?
Well, Naruto and Sakura not apparent in this game, and now Fulvius taken out as well. Was used by Gobner, was used very well as well. Chip taken out. They don't want Beloyski to have his hands on the chip. The macro impact he can have is very insane with his twisted mind as well, so yeah, better not have it in his hands.
Okay, realize shout out.
Twisted mind.
But
Chanahoda.
We'll have to see how this really plays out. Geek Fam, they're banning 2 really strong fighters. Does that hint that they want to go for an assassin themselves? They want some security for the backline? Or does it hint that they're trying to go for like more pickoffs and limiting the potential to really jump on the potential for RRQ to go for the tankier members so they can really punish even more? Now with the Hayabusa banned out as well, RRQ, you know, potentially here Geek Fam's going to take the Joy away, and then RRQ's with their back against the corner.
RQ got to ban Fanny, right? But if they do ban... See, they might want to trade Fanny with Joy, because Joy
Yeah.
is Sutsujin's comfort pick. So, it's...
Can he Joy pick up the Badang?
But is it, like, worth it? Leaving the Fanny open, it's Maykids.
Maykids.
Who's been amazing on the Fanny. One of the best, if not the best.
Definitely a risky proposition. What? What is going on?
They got the Joy for
What's the
themselves.
trade? Are they... No, Harith? They're trading it for Harith?
That's a possibility. We
But
have
the thing is,
Pryo
Geek
with
Fam
Harith.
don't need to pick a Fanny first pick.
That's true.
They know that Sutsujin doesn't play it.
Unless.
Then sure. I think Geek Fam will be happy with
Breakout's
that.
like, show it then.
Yeah, because I think Geek Fam can just think about picking up the Harith now. Picking up a big pick, it's a comfort for Chidera. Leaving Fanny on the other side, throwing the question to RRQ. Here, are you going to pick it up?
Are you sure you can make good use of it? Oh boy, that was definitely a huge curveball there from RRQ. I mean, we're off guard. I wonder if Geek Fam are also caught by surprise there, for better
There you
or
go.
worse. Jushin though.
Jushin.
Okay, did not expect the Jushin.
Nothing is going as expected here, boys.
Yep. Balls in RQ's court now. Suyo.
What?
So they're gonna...
What?
Wait, they're gonna trade the Suyo with a
This one
Fanny?
is expected though. Like,
Yeah.
the Suyo isn't really that crazy for me, because they don't play Fanny.
Uh-huh.
It should be
Suyo?
Suyo Harith, right? Because the Jushin pick is a pick that Rince does really well on, so they're just taking it away from him.
Uh-huh. Oh, Hylos?
What? Okay, now
Suyo
that is a
Hylos.
what? This is going to be a Fanny Harith, right?
It should be. It should be two strong picks for Geek Fam. Fanny, Harith, they're giving away basically win cons that Geek Fam might really enjoy lavishing on.
So, since this is Cascade we're talking about, the assumption is always that there's a plan to this. There's a mind game here that he's angling for, that he's baiting Geek Fam. But it's really out of the box right here. I'm not quite sure what the idea is. It's a flex pick, technically for the Hylos, but that's about it. That's all you can say about this sequence.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be the Fanny Harith
Oh,
as
no.
expected.
Well played, Geek Fam.
A deadly situation here for RRQ to face up against.
They go for the Moskov.
Straight away, because they know the Moskov might be banned in the second phase. But the question is Cascade cooking?
What could he possibly cook, man? The recipe looks scuffed.
It's spoiled. I mean,
They have still a way to go Franco, right?
Yes.
There's still
Got
some
the Fanny, yeah.
lockdown. There's still comfort. They have a Moskov against the Fanny, and it's good against Harith. Never mind.
They ban it out.
That.
There's still the Tigreal.
what about a Badang?
I don't think you want to go take against Jushin and Harith. Like, you just for the Fanny, and the Fanny, even then, it's not a guaranteed catch, unlike the Franco, you know?
So Badang roam.
I'm thinking of a Badang or a Hilda.
Yeah, the Badang is... But I think the Badang will be bad. There's no way the Badang
Agreed.
gets... Like, no way Geek Fam leave it open in the second phase.
I mean, we've been saying a lot of no ways so far, and the ways have been opening up somehow. Oh boy, we have to wait and see for RRQ's first move just yet. They got a Kacha initially though, already. Quite interesting. I wonder if they have an abundance of physical damage they want to use to really bully Geek Fam away. In the early game, with the Hylos, they have some staying power, and they've banned away another hero with good regen right now. So they might be trying to just limit any scouting potential from Geek Fam. But there's still the option for Cho to show up if Geek Fam really requires that information.
And now the question lies in Geek Fam, what's their last ban? And number two, what is Cascade cooking? Because basically throwing away 3 strong picks for Geek Fam. I mean, yeah, sure. The Jushin pick was warranted. It's, Geek Fam taken away. Rince's strong pick, but the Fanny and the Harith.
There you go.
They're giving it on a silver plate, and yep, Badang taken out by Geek Fam, so RRQ. They don't have much options. What do you think of something that can really hold the Fanny in place?
Fredrin?
Fredrin? With the
They
top?
only have
wait.
Suyo. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
they
right.
have Suyo already.
Spammable card control.
Beller?
Bellerin? No way. Way too slow. I mean, you can proc a lot of passives against the Zushin. That's one thing you have going for you on the Belleric, but not good enough. I mean, you're at such a risk.
Fanny, Harith, Kufra. Do they go Kufra? If they do, it'll be last. There you go. They go Farsa.
Yeah.
This could be a Kufra pick
Farsa against the Fanny, though.
with Kufra. With
Kinda scary.
Show.
Choloyski shows up again.
Let's keep the Suyo in check. And now Geek Fam with the last pick. XP. It has to be, or maybe it could be a flex. But
Dops.
yeah, Dops.
Glue?
Yeah, the Glue could actually... The Glue's really good against the Hylos. Great against the Farsa. And Suyo.
Not got all here, and there's no chance for a Faramis to show up.
Edith.
Gotta be the Edith, though. All right.
Wow. It should be Kufra, because if it's not Kufra, what else can peel for Farsa?
What about Tig?
Dude, I don't like the take against
Yeah,
this
but
comp.
hey,
Harith and Juice...
There's something else in the pocket for Edox that we haven't seen so far. He's always made big moments happen on the Tig and Franco. That's about it.
Go Tig.
Tig! Still?
It's comfort over meta, bro, for sure here.
Yep.
But what's going... Oh, man.
Can the Hylos not peel for the for the Farsa?
Wow, they... I mean, the Hylos...
Yeah, just stand there, lots of damage, law and order.
You want Hylos to walk up more than
That's
you just
true.
want to peel, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The thing is, Geek Fam will dive with many targets. Hylos can only stun one.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It's looking difficult. I think this just really relies on big plays happening for RRQ. If they can get the big implosions, the big combos, they might be looking at something here. If that doesn't happen, if Geek Fam are able to use the Cho to scout out the dangers, stifle EDOC's playmaking potential, this is looking like a done deal, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree with you. The lineup rating definitely agrees with you too. 6.8.
Wow. Do we have a chef in the kingdom? Or is this just mere misplace? The King Slayers might end this with a 2-0. But the Kings will retaliate. It is game number 2 of RRQ Hoshi against Geek Fam.
Let's see. Will the King Slayers be able to derail the hype train and maybe possibly the upper bracket chance for RRQ? Taking first place away from them is not a far-fetched idea anymore.
Looking so dangerous right now. And looking at the matchup, clear-wise, Geek Fam with the Cho assisting the Tushin. That means that even with the Farsa here, Geek Fam can have the roam advantage when it comes to just going around faster. With Sitsujin on the Suyo, there's going to be a lot of danger. The Litho immediately gets threatened by Geek Fam. And looking at the emblems here, Firmness, pull yourself together for EDOC. And they're going to try to make plays happen. No, Rins though, forced to wings by wings away. That's a lot of pressure here.
And EDOC spots below the bush. Sitsujin able to go for the Soul Sever. Makids though. Oh, that was a shove from EDOC. Really trying to go and catch Makids as he cables away.
Yep. A little bit ambitious there for Makids, but I think so far, EDOC can only counterplay and move to where Beloyski wants to, because Beloyski will be so proactive with the Cho, and Sitsujin is not going to have a good time in the jungle. And the boy as well with the Chusin, right? You have so much reach and so much poke with the Lantern Flare, so obviously it's not going to be a very, very fun early game for RRQ.
Yeah.
I feel like RRQ are just going to find it difficult to get past all of these safety tools from Geek Fam. They have to get past the Lantern Flare, showing them all on the map, and they have to get past Beloyski before attempting any other plays. And they have the Edith for a counter-engage. Look at this.
Trying to delay it. Delay the turtle. Drops in the back with onward at the playground. And the Earth Shatter. Makids walking up. Sitsujin wins the retreat, but gets cut thrown down by Makids. First blood over. Double knock up. Tyron. Can he escape? One more lift up. Gobs gets the kill.
They have the damage, but not the turtle, so at least that's something that RRQ could bring home. But again, Makids with the early kill, this might just funnel the Fanny into becoming a monster later on.
Yeah, 2 kills for the turtle. Definitely not ideal. The other factor is the 1v1 for Toy Leader.
Oh my lord.
But again, against Makids on the Fanny, that's definitely a lot scarier than it sounds. Oh, hang on, Dyron, Lord Pathway.
Oh, Gobs with the Earth Shatter. Is it enough to take him down? Geek Fam, Gobs trying to run away, gets with the onward! Beloyski with the Ikugo and the kick! Oh no! Sitsujin walks up! Oh, that was risky. Beloy might be able to get him. Okay, in the bottom lane. It's the Moskov thrown back Rins. Caught in the bad spot. Purple buff taken though. Beloyski, Sitsujin, cold. Able to stay there. Makids almost getting the kill. Toy able to go on and Makids taken out.
The Monster Maker saves Gobs. But I think now we have an idea of how they're trying to stop Makids into engaging to the Farsa. The stun was there from EDOC to stop him with the Sacred Hammer. And I think that's going to be at least the bare minimum that what they can do to face Makids later on.
It just seems like the idea is to just use more damage, more aggression to really stop Geek Fam from making all these plays unpunished. Again, it's a bold move, and we've seen RRQ pull it off before. It's definitely risky though, and there's a lot more ways for Geek Fam. Once they wisen up to this strategy, once they know what RRQ is looking for, it's gonna be a whole different look. Beloyski!
SG Kundo won't be able to go for the kick though. It's just screening. The signature Choloyski screen.
He's just having an afternoon walk, driving by, just eyeing Sitsujin, not giving him a good time in the jungle, and he's just gonna relinquish the orange buff, preparing for a total take. This contest is going to be great.
JCC onto a boy, that's a blade surge as well. Comes to Beacon and the flicker will be used up. So many big ultimates already used. Beloyski with the way to Dragon. I think he expected a flicker. Getting the implosion, that's gonna be Gobs right there. Beloy taking down, battle racking down. It's now Makids walks around. You can see all of them have used their resources. EDOC low, Sitsujin gets the turtle, but a boy will go for more. Take it low. Chidera gets the kill. Geek Fam playing for kills, RRQ for objectives.
The King Slayers take charge. As they get everything they need, RRQ lose too. And this is where it turns around for Geek Fam.
Man, for RRQ, they're just going all in on trying to go for these catches, these outplays. But because they used the Feather Airstrike earlier, that big combo from EDOC can't really be followed up and secured that easily. Oh boy. They have to really make sure that they use everything at the right time for RRQ. Wait, hang on a second, did Sitsujin not get the purple one?
It didn't look like it. I think it was stolen away because he went for the chase down below.
Interesting, okay. Right, but yeah, and the 2K gold.
Gobs is here.
Oh, gets the Earth Shatter too. EDOC will be taken down. Has the implosion. Buying a little bit more time, but it will be Chidera who gets his second kill of this game. We have to talk about it. This power spike is going to be very big for Geek Fam.
Definitely, that's the main problem here. Geek Fam, they have a really good snowballing composition. Oh, strike back from RRQ though. But Geek Fam kites away.
Yep. And they've already made a few resources. Goblin Earth Shadow won't be able to land it. Now, wow, Glorious Pathway, a boy caught in the back. Oh, Beloski with a kick. Now Make Hits, looking for the kill. Onto Rinse, gets it and gets out. Gob's taken down. That's a stun over. Purify and will Toy taking it down. Spear Misery doesn't pin Chidera down. Sutsujin looking for the kill. Can he get it? Chidera with the dash. Beloski with the shot. Pull a snipe. Oh, Sutsujin gets the killer.
There you go. With the Susado's arrow, Sutsujin at least gets a kill to his name. We can take a look at how RRQ has to ration their spells, because Geek Fam, they have so much tools to just peel for themselves, engage and disengage. When maybe the Farsa pops the Feather Airstrike, they can always peel back either, you know, a boy by himself or maybe Beloski with the Jit Kundo, but anything can happen for Geek Fam, so RRQ, they need to be very wary of this possibility.
A very good turn of events there for RRQ. They got a turret, they got a couple of kills down, and they got the neutral objective, and they have control now. For once. That was also Geek Fam though, just diving, going with the aggression, seeing that there was a possibility to shut down RRQ even more, but they fell victim. They were 4 men slowed under the turret there by RRQ. That's just not how they wanted the fight to go. That could be a fatal one, man. All of that early game advantage they have pressured RRQ into giving up. Now it's kind of equalized, and we've seen RRQ have the damage at least to get somewhat even results in a fight. Better airstrike already, wow.
The John explosion on Beloski. He will be taken down. Another death closer to the 7th death power spike of BBB.
Needs a total of 5 more. Still a long way to go, but at least RRQ.
Whoa.
Where's Pathway?
Super kill. Onto Gob. Spear of Misery as well. Make it. Will he be going for it? Oh, Sutsujin with Blade Surge out. Make it to the back and shove. So able to get the cables down. And Chidera gets rid of Dyron.
That's a damage potential. Magical and physical from Geek Fam. Dyron, as of right now, only has components. Steel leg plits, the Silence Robe. He doesn't really have a lot of big resistances against anything physical or magical. That's where it's going to be a bit difficult for RRQ to play.
Whoa, and Beloski finds a kick. Rins gets slain. Make is looking for more. Again, Edok does have the implosion. Sutsujin waiting in the bush. He might be spotted out. Blade Surge out. Oh, Jiku no flicker from Beloski. Oh, Make Hands! Able to bait out the implosion. Gets away too. This man is ridiculous on the fanny.
He slips away, gets the kill, gets out. That's the King's assassination by Make It.
Oh boy, dodging from the implosion there. Got hit the Sacred Hammer, but it doesn't even matter. Outplays traded back with outplays, and Geek Fam with this power spikes in the mid game can burst his lord down so fast.
They're gonna go for it instantly, wiping it down. Edok does not have the way to Dragon, but Beloski gets the way of the Dragon for Make It to get the cutthroat. Now it's Tyron, the lone stallion here, picked up, thrown back. Beloski with the Kung Fu. Oh, they're literally kicking his horse to his death. Another one. Even with the Revitalize, he's only just gonna take a bit more of a beating, but he has to back away.
Wow, Geek Fam. They're everywhere around the map. RRQ giving action to their plate non-stop. And Make It's now strongest as ever. They have the Lord now marching up top, so they can restabilize the lanes, mid and bot for RRQ. How do they hold on to this, Arashi?
They have the long-distance Feather Airstrike. They have a Mosscop that can clear pretty well. They're using all of it now already, trying to hang on for that mid-turret as long as possible, allowing them more avenues for rotations. Oh, Make It.
Oh, no.
Full Sever lands. Oh, he's just styling. He's just here for the show. Make It.
Cables.
That's some control, dude. But look at Beloski. Ooh.
Look at the moves. Jiku knows Spear of Misery landing on 2 toy, able to go for it. Earth Shatter and Glorious Pathway. Edok! Dives into the back line, will be able to find 2. Sutsujin gets the double. Chidera low. Edok looking for more Rins. Wings by wings. No Feathered Airstrike. No Tier 2s falling.
Another RRQ win con. Edok Implosion. 4-man, 5-man. I think that could really turn that around for RRQ.
Edok Implosion into a Feather Airstrike into a Queller would be the ideal combo. On top of that, if the Spear of Misery can be added on top of that, that's the idea. Oh, Make It!
Whoa! Spear of Misery already used. Now they have to play PL. Chidera in the back with his Mod Force. Able to go for more. Feather Airstrike. Last one there. Make It. Unable to get the purple. It was Sutsujin with a steel tie. Times in. What? Uh-oh. Will be kicked. Purify out. Toy taken. Very low. Toy! Gets a kill before he finally dies. Go! Toy! So Aaron's a Toy! What in the world was that? Kiting away.
No way.
Was supposed to be his demise.
Insanity! The King gets out of an assassination attempt. He gets a kill on his way out. And he's back. RRQ at least are back.
What was that? It's a replay right here by the official tournament smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy S25 series. It was a full-on Sphere of Destruction, and he was supposed to go down here, no questions asked. He purifies, he kites, his Spear of Misery is Beloski.
Oh my lord.
And a boy, didn't have enough mana, it seems like, to apply some more of those stacks to get that lift.
Also on top of the glowing wand as well.
No way that was supposed to happen at all, dude. RRQ somehow, some way found an opportunity. Now there's a flicker implosion potential from EDOC. It is available. This can be a massive moment for RRQ, but they have to play it properly.
This is where the Kingslayers crumble. Because RRQ seems like they have a way back.
Implosion, Veloci with a shampoo. Gobs pops into Primal Rat. EDOC no more. That's going to make it to the back. Finding it, but Sutsujin claims the kill. Chidera still free hitting with his force. Dyron left alone, all alone. Gobs taken down by Sutsujin. Now it's a conceal. EDOC looking for it. Veloci with a kick. Chidera, can he go for the damage just yet? No, Sutsujin! Triple kill on the Suyo. Chidera, only one left for Geek Fam.
The Mercenary is back. RRQ is back. And this is where the game might go into their favor. Gold leads in the hands of Geek Fam, but it's irrelevant at this point. Is RRQ. They still hold on to their castle walls with the Lord now in their sights.
And this is a massive one for RRQ. They've been struggling with control, with getting security in the lanes for the longest time against Geek Fam. But now with the Lord, they're going to have the wave advantage. That means more opportunities for EDOC, for Toy, for Sutsujin to go for some of these plays. I wish you can see a replay of the later side of that fight though. EDOC pushes Chidera out of the way so that RRQ can get some more implosion.
Already, Beloski able to escape with an airstrike. Oh, it's a quick route. Gobs has to move back as well. Sutsujin will disengage. Lord in the bottom lane, marching down as RRQ take a tier 1 up top.
The damage from RRQ now is indispensable. Toy, looking for something.
Has to be careful. Make kids looking for a Toy. Locked up Toy again! Is able to survive against 2. Sutsujin looking for the Queller. Belosi with the Jikundo. Sutsujin with the Blade Surge already. Gobs looking for it. Earth Shatter only landing on a Dyron. With the dive catching Rens. Now Dyron is caught in the tough spot. SOD does not land. EDOC does not have the implosion. Sutsujin immobilized. Chidera with a walk up. A boy looking to pick him up. Just a bit more. EDOC defends Sutsujin in time. Chidera, Saman Force over. Now looking for the damage on EDOC. Slowly but surely chunking HP away. He does have the implosion, but he's got to be careful. Chidera backing away.
RRQ bit off more than they could chew, and they falter in the top side siege, but at least the turret is gone, and the Lord now, not bottom as well, marching. So Geek Fam, they have their focus split to 2.
This is a very sporadic game right here. Neither team are playing it calculative, dude. It's just mechanics. Make is trying to show off, EDOC trying to do the same. It all comes down to who pulls the trigger first, who gets the proactive movement, who gets that catch, and whether or not they can kind of predict each other's outplay. We are approaching mind game territory right here. This game isn't played directly. It's like, even if Rins wants to use a Feather Airstrike in front of the whole team of Geek Fam, there's that layer of mind games. Is the team nearby? Is EDOC waiting to counter on that engage from Geek Fam or not? Yep. They just kept guessing.
We're approaching the 7th death power spike too.
Oh.
One more. One away for Beloski.
One away.
To activate that forbidden jutsu in his sleeves. And now RRQ, they slow down the tempo. Meanwhile, they have all outer turrets taken down. So at least they have time and space to breathe. Maybe refocus. So far for Geek Fam, it's how they want to fight back because they still have the damage enough, but they don't really have the reach to get to, you know, to get to Rins, to get to the Farsa. I mean, Nakeds might do that, but again, the peel from EDOC is there. They're rationing their spells, the implosion used as well, so it's going to be very funny. But now,
Glorious Pathway, Gobs going to be taken very low too. Belosi unable to go for it. Oh, Primal Wrath already used, baited out of Gobs.
Also, the Feather Airstrike and Glorious Pathway no longer available though. RRQ, despite having the Mosk off, they don't have the liberty to send them off on a split push mission. With the Lord up, with so much damage available for both teams, they can burst it down at any given moment. But look at this, RRQ already sending Toy away. Geek Fam, once they see him, there's definitely a small window there where they can go for some kind of pick-off. Beloski is definitely looking for it. Chidera ready to jump on him, but the Airstrike coming down with Weighted Dragon as well. Now it's going to revitalize. A boy with a Crimson Beacon still in the bottom lane. It's going to be implosion! Finding a massive one more time! When the kingdom is getting siege, when they are under, never doubt the man, the captain, EDOC!
these are kings, but EDOC with the divine intervention to stop the kingdom from crumbling. They take game number 2, and the Kingslayers, their celebrations put on halt.
An unlikely victory. We were thinking Toy's gonna make a big play. We were thinking Sutsujin's gonna steal the Lord. It's always EDOC. It's always EDOC.
Bro, get the heck out of here. What was that? What was that, dude? We talked about the damage, the pickup potential, the scouting. It doesn't matter, dude. One moment is all it takes, and when you have EDOC, that moment just comes so often, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It's a momentum-based hero, this pick, the Tigreal.
No, it shouldn't be.
It's an EDOC hero, brother.
It shouldn't be, dude. It shouldn't have worked out like that.
Oh, my Lord.
We talked about how everything is just going to dissuade EDOC from picking the Tigreal, yet he still picks it up. He's still able to pull off majestic things like this. This guy is on a different level.
This is why sometimes they just stick to the Tig, right? We were thinking, all right, normal scenario, you gotta go Kufra, you gotta go something to cancel out those dashes. But if you have EDOC on your team, put him on a Franco, put him on a Tigreal. Oh my goodness. EDOC.
Wow. Unbelievable, dude.
Rashi speechless.
Generational talent.
We were talking about this the whole time. Oh, Tigreal, it might be difficult, might be not as effective, and he turns out to be the big playmaker still.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you think, dude. He's not asking for your opinion. He just does it.
He doesn't care. And we talked about it, his implosion. Like, that's another win con of RRQ. Number one, of course, scale late game. And another win con was to let EDOC play. Let, you know...
Never doubt.
Let Divine Intervention happen, and with an implosion, 4-man, 3-man, was there.
Never doubt this.
We never doubt EDOC.
Man, if you were Geek Fam though, that is a hit. Oh man,
that's a hit to the gut,
bro. That is a
devastating way to lose the game, dude. And remember, the big point in the drafting phase we were talking about is that man, RQ gave them everything. They got everything they could possibly want, and they got wrecked like that.
Wow.
Oh boy, no way, dude.
After everything going against their favor in terms of the picks, the drafting phase, they still made it work. So, what is something that's able to make this work? It's insane.
It's just he just knows what to do, man. I don't know how else to explain it. He sees things before they happen,
bro. This guy.
Of course, your MVP for that game presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. It is EDOC. Remember his name.
It's always him and Dyron, by the way, right? I mean, that whole play was kind of baited by Dyron, but EDOC with a capitalization of a lifetime.
And again, there were moments, aside from the implosion, again, this was the moments where Dyron was able to actually, you know, set things up indirectly. He's on a high list, so he can't really do anything too crazy. But by all means, I don't know who made this game this messy brawl here. Is it RRQ? Is it Geek Fam? Because they both seem very happy to just oblige each other in these plays. But look at the Sacred Hammers as well from EDOC. It's not just the implosions. Of course, it is the implosions mainly we're looking at. But even the Sacred Hammers, I think we're gonna see one more fight.
This one, dude.
Oh, and shout out to Toy as well. This, again, if that implosion wasn't supposed to happen, Toy is not supposed to survive here. There's no way.
Voloisky could have went for the hit. He wanted to give the kill away, and this is why, folks, when your tank kills the enemy team, it's not a KS kill steal, it's a kill secure.
And this was a chaotic fight, I think earlier on, before the final fight. And after the initial fight, you can see that Toy was taken out, but Sutsujin was picking up the role. And look at EDOC, he flickers Sacred Hammer Chadera away from the team so that the rest of the guys can get the cleanup done. Chadera here with the outplay as well, predicting that Rinz will be vulnerable.
Look at this.
But dude, they should have known. They should have seen it come in Geek Fam. That is a play that Voloisky himself would have made for Geek Fam if the tables were turned.
Yeah.
They really should have known.
They literally slayed Voloisky in his 7th death, man. He didn't let the power spike activate. They were like, nah, not on my watch. 070, not 007.
That was the icing on top. Take a look at the items again. I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary because it was more of a brawl.
Replay that EDOC ult one more time. Just replay that again, please.
I'm gonna watch that every time I wake up.
It's gonna be on social media all over the place, dude. We can bet it's gonna be there
with
on multiple channels.
Yeah, put that up there with the, actually, obviously not, but Keyboy 1 is still more special because he did that in the upper bracket finals of M5.
Yeah.
But holy moly, EDOC, he just needs to find that moment in an international, and that's gonna be an all-timer.
Didn't EDOC say that Keyboy was his idol, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
So at least the regeneration is here. And I think for now, EDOC is just setting the tempo for RRQ, making them win out of unwinnable scenarios. And it's insane the consequences you have to face when you're giving him heroes like this. And this is not something he would pick every time. But when it comes out, it feels like you're just done for the day.
Dude, it's fortunate for all the other teams in the league right now that he can only do something this crazy on the Franco and Tigreal so far. If he has more options, dude, I can't imagine drafting against this team. Right now, the Tigreal, the Franco, you can somewhat deal with, but dang, dude, they even brand the Franco and it doesn't matter. This guy's like, sure, I got the other option available. You want to shut me down? You need to take both away. I wonder if Geek Fam are really seriously considering just banning both the Franco and the Tigreal at this point. Why not?
Oh boy, so ridiculous.
Out of words.
God.
And again, shout out to Koi, but also to Sutsujin, because we were saying that on the Suyo, he can't perform at the highest level, and by all means, he was set up for a lot of successful moments by his teammates. But when there were fights where Toy gets immediately deleted, where Toy maybe trades his life for someone on the side of Geek Fam here, Sutsujin did a great job picking up the slack, getting the secure on those kills. You know, overall, it was a respectable attempt, a team effort.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Doc, what up?
I gotta breathe, dude.
E-Doc.
Oh man,
It's absolutely insane.
That was good. That was good. That was a good game.
Again, it
MLP.
feels like they're just trying to reject our comments. We're saying that, oh, their picks are taken away by Geek Fam. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the strong picks. E-Dog is like, nah.
Comfort.
My middle name is Tigreal.
imagine E-Doc going, oh, did he pick up in my peep?
E-Doc is Tigreal Ho Chi Minh.
It doesn't matter.
That's his middle name,
The
right?
I in E-Dog stands for implosion.
E-Doc Tigreal Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
That's his
Man,
last
Ho Chi
name.
Minh.
That has to be his last name. But of course, 1-1. Geek Fam, they are yet to defeat RRQ, and RRQ they still have a chance to get that playoffs ticket. But we're going to throw it out to Alyssa for an interview.
Yeay, masih kembali bersama Alisa di sini dan Alisa tidak sendiri ditemani oleh
Michelle Kristo, halo semuanya.
Halo Michelle.
Halo Alisa.
Gimana hari ini melihat matchnya yang sangat panas nih?
Jujur aku deg-degan banget ya, tadi aku sampai tercengang gitu melihat Toy bisa kabur.
Luar biasa
Luar
ya
biasa.
memang ya. Kita bisa melihat perlawanan yang sengit ya memang antara top tuh sih mereka memang di klasemen saat ini ya.
Iya sih, aku nontonnya sampai sakit perut, deg-degan.
Sampai mules ya
Iya,
memang ya.
mules.
Oke, ngomongin soal game yang sangat seru tadi di game kedua. Katanya ngomong di sini di RRQ-nya ada spot gaming juga yang menarik ya.
Iya, lagi ada spot gaming paling hits lagi, apalagi lagi di Manado. Namanya RRQ Arena dan Community Hub, Kak.
Wow, boleh
Iya.
nggak sih dijelasin ke teman-teman semua apa sih Community Hub?
Nah, di sana kalian bisa main game PS5, kalian bisa nobar, kalian juga bisa bikin acara-acara turnamen Mobile Legends juga bisa di sana.
Wow, jadi banyak banget program-program dan kegiatan-kegiatan yang
Betul.
dilakukan ya. Dan kalau boleh tahu ada harga yang harus dikeluarkan nggak?
Harganya kocaknya murah banget sih ya. Untuk per jamnya biasanya itu di 13.000, tapi kalau untuk VIP di 25.000 aja 1 jam.
Wow,
Iya.
sungguh affordable dan pastinya buat teman-teman yang ada di sana kalau pengen ikutan ada promonya nggak sih?
Ada banget, lagi ada promo 50% nih. Aku nyontek dulu sampai dengan tanggal 18 Mei. Jadi kita tuh ada loyalty stamp. Nah, di loyalty itu kalau misalnya kalian ngumpulin sampai 10 stamp, kalian bisa dapetin free main game 1 jam di sana.
Oke, jadi kalian bisa ngumpulin stempelnya,
Yes.
lalu bisa dapat benefitnya juga. Selain itu ada benefit lainnya nggak sih, Michelle?
Benefit lainnya mungkin kalian bisa ketemu teman-teman baru kali ya di sana ya, karena di sana terkumpul para kingdom pastinya.
Para kingdom yang ada di Manado ya, pastinya dan
Betul.
Sulawesi Utara. Dan mungkin Michelle kalau misalkan teman-teman gak mau kelewatan update-update soal RRQ Arena dan Community Hub yang mungkin ada di kota-kotanya juga, gimana sih caranya?
Kalian bisa langsung aja cek di Google Map RRQ Arena dan Community Hub, atau kalian bisa langsung datang ke Jalan Babe Palar nomor 75 Tanjung Batu Manado. Atau kalian bisa langsung nih ada QR-nya kan untuk follow Instagram RRQ Arena langsung.
Yeay, jadi gampang banget pastinya caranya. Kalian bisa langsung scan aja QR code yang ada di bawah dan di follow juga social medianya. Dan pastinya kalian bisa bergabung dan bertemu teman-teman yang punya interest yang sama ya di kotanya masing-masing. Nah, Michelle, ngomongin soal gameplay tadi, ngomongin soal RRQ juga nih
Yes,
ya.
Kak.
Katanya dari RRQ juga lagi ngadain tour keliling.
Betul, lagi ada RKK, RRQ keliling kota.
RRQ keliling kota. Sekarang lagi ada di mana tuh?
Lagi ada di Palangkaraya hari ini.
Wow, seru banget ya pastinya.
Iya,
Dan
seru.
bakal ke kota-kota lain juga?
Bakal ada ke kota-kota lain juga. Di sana pastinya ada host di Kareski, ada Bapet juga, dan ada antara aku, Pak Ape, Bibi ataupun Angel, para BA juga.
Jadi ditemenin para BA dan kalian bisa nonton langsung, ketemu langsung, meet and greet langsung, seru-seruan dan have fun bareng pastinya dengan RRQ dan Kingdom yang ada di seluruh Indonesia.
Betul banget.
Nah, terakhir dong Michelle, aku pengen minta semangatnya nih buat RRQ terutama di game terakhir karena ini sangat panas dan sangat sengit ya. Silakan.
Pokoknya Viva RRQ.
Jangan lupa ikutin terus keseruan yang ada di MLP Arena dan thank you so much Michelle.
Terima kasih, Kak.
Dukung terus tim kesayangan kalian untuk Kingdom dan juga untuk Geek Fam Unity, jangan mau kalah. Dan kita akan kembalikan lagi ke para caster. Silakan caster, take it over.
That is, of course, Michelle, talent of RRQ.
Dude, I didn't even see the interview. I was just mesmerized still.
Speaking
just
of talent,
thinking
RRQ has a lot of talent.
Oh my god, E-Doc. bro.
E-Doc and other players as well. I mean, Toy was doing great. Tsutsujin,
Yeah.
he was doing good, you know, amidst the fact that maybe Suyo isn't his comfort pick.
11, 2, and 4.
Yeah, 11, 2, and 4. But yeah, E-Doc is just stealing the spotlight.
This
E-Doc.
guy, bro.
Oh boy.
This guy. So good.
It's insane. But another thing that steals the spotlight is Gope.
Gope.
From watching MPL, playing with friends, doing implosions like E-Doc, ranking up to everything is, of course, #PastiGG with GoPay Games. You get a free weekly diamond pass at GoPay Games. This is how you can do that. Simply purchase a WDP or a weekly diamond pass at gopay.co.id/games during the flash sale, which is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And don't forget to use the promo code shown during the MPL ID Season 15 live stream to get a bonus of 5 diamonds exclusively for first-time top-ups. And topping diamonds at GoPay Games is always cheap and 100% secure. The reason why I was able to pull out the Sasuke Uchiha skin was because I topped up with GoPay Games.
Check it out. Now, topping up diamonds at GoPay is always cheap and 100% secure. WDP is only 26. Again, you heard it, all right? Now, it's time for you to vote for your champion. Because you guys can get a chance to spin the wheel that you see on your screen right now. There's a chance for you to win 2 electric motorcycles,
wow,
5 smartphones, 5 power banks, 25 wireless earphone winners for y'all, all right? So you still have a chance to win 13 remaining electric motorcycles and other awesome prizes if you go over and check out gopay.co.id/games, win guaranteed rewards, vote for your champion, and then spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. But how do we vote for our champion, Arashi?
Well, you go to gopay.co.id/games, or open the GoPay app, obviously, and select the top up game icon. Then you click on the trophy icon on the top right, and you can. There's a button that says vote now to get a token.
Vote now to get a token.
Afterwards, once you get the token, you pick up your winning team and enter the final match score. You gotta predict the results and the score as well. And if you do, you can get up to 59 free diamonds and 1 token free for your first vote. And then you can use the token to keep spinning in the gift arena and win your dream prizes, bro. And if you feel like you want to keep spinning, you want more tokens, you can always top up your game credits starting from about 10,000 IDR, and your token immediately will be available for spinning.
If you have good luck, good luck, spin the wheel.
Check it out right now. If you guys want, you guys have to check it out, okay? Okay, you got it?
Yeah, good.
You guys can get a chance to win, brothers. Like, this, it ain't that deep. You don't have to do much. It's just download the app, put in your details, register, and then you get in. You get a chance to win. Yeah. I've already done it. I haven't won my motorcycle yet, but maybe you're luckier than me.
And if you're lucky enough to have good connection, that means you're good. But if you don't have good connection, you need to talk himself. Because you cannot let lag cause you to lose ranks and lose out on those implosions. You don't want to implosion Scuttle Crab. You want to implosion 4 players like EDOC did, so you can enjoy a seamless gaming experience with IndyHome Pocket G2 Satu. You can offer, or rather, you're offered a fast and stable internet. Get speeds of up to 100 Mbps or megabytes per second for just 375,000 rupiah.
No way, brother. So you said earlier that if you're lucky enough, you technically don't need to be lucky. All you need to do is get it right now. Yeah. No luck here. Just get yours. 375,000 IDR, 100 Mbps, IndyHome by Telkom Cell connection, and you good, brother man.
Can you do the delay?
I need help. Do it, Arashi.
Hello.
Whoa, Arashi. Wow.
Arashi, can you say EDOC is the best player ever in Indonesia in MPL ID history, and he will win the MVP trophy and M series?
Brother, this sentence is way too long. Just do the mouth movements. Yeah. Huh? Just make it like the lag thing. Yeah.
It's so long of a sentence.
No, it's okay just to be. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Biggest best team in the world.
Bro, I got set up for that.
No way.
But of course, if you're done with your internet and you have your diamonds ready, you GoPay with IndyHome as well. Don't forget to snack like a champion, because gamers snack like champs with Sucro. I don't want to ask the question, but Gasla.
Sucro Man.
Are you laughing?
That's Sucro Man right there.
Sucro Man.
Yeah.
Born like that.
Born like that.
Okay.
Tough times in the hospital. Gasla.
Sometimes you just gotta do, you know? Don't think, just do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then think later after the game. And that's what EDOC did. He was like, I'm just gonna, that's maybe why his name is EDOC. I do, okay?
Okay. Or maybe
Pretty bad.
EDOC stands for I don't officially know. Until the game goes, he knows what he's doing.
Okay. What about you, Arashi? What's your take on EDOC's name?
I think it's just EDOC, bro.
That's boring, man.
For EDOC, outside the game, I don't officially know, but in game, I do know.
I do know.
He knows what he...
So he's just IDK in game.
Just IDK.
Okay, so now talking about the previous game in which Maykits picked up the Fanny, he was a threat early on. But as the late game goes, it feels like number 1 RRQ were able to clump up and burst him down early. And there was a good peel as well coming in from RRQ, both Tyron and EDOC. But number 2, it feels like the Fanny was forced to reassign herself to try to match the split push from Toy. Because this is what we were talking about with the Moskov pick. It really puts Fanny, you know, on a pedestal. It feels like the Moskov does have the prio in the split push, and it can rejoin the fight with the global presence given with the Spear of Destruction. So yeah, I think Maykits did have a good time early on, but late game, it was mixed.
The thing is, again, I'm really wondering who in that game, it's hard to tell from just an observer's point of view, but who was initiating all those brawls? Because you would think that for Geek Fam at least, having the Fanny, they would want to split apart RRQ and allow for those pickoffs for the Maloyski Fanny combo, for the Choloyski Harris Chidera combo, right? Kick someone, burst them down. But then it just devolved into a full-on 5v5, right? RRQ at one point even brought Toy along for the ride. He wasn't split pushing for a great amount of that game. He was just sticking together as 5. And when that happens, it's just a lot more difficult for the Fanny to really get big moments. It's a lot more difficult for you to get a 4-man big engage when you're on a Cho compared to a Tegreal. So I feel like RRQ definitely initiated that several times, but there were times where Geek Fam themselves were trying to, it's like they're trying to prove to everyone, like, we can brawl too, we can scrap too. But you know, they weren't really drafted for it, and I think they really paid the price in trying to kind of match that playstyle from RRQ.
Yeah, and here we go. The final drafting phase of this match, presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Lucas, Kalea taken out of the fray.
Already. It's going to be the same formula, I think. This is what Geek Fam tends to do. They'll say, we played it wrong. And they'll go for the same draft. Against Onyx, they did that, if you guys remember. And it seems like this is the same plan for Geek Fam. It's going to just be, hey, you guys got lucky. You had EDOC. What if we ban Tig? Actually, we can't because Franco and Badang are definitely there too, but there you go. RQ say, no, we won't play back to that game. We know how scary it was. We knew that EDOC kind of bailed us out of that game. Yep. We got to ban out the Fanny. No more.
Put some respect onto Make Kids right there. But now without the Hayabusa in the picture, with Geek Fam being first pick, RRQ, do they want to let go of the Joy, right? The immediate question, of course. Did they want to trade it with the Harriet? We've seen that happen as well. That was our assumption on what was going to happen in the previous game. For Geek Fam though, it's the same, the same exact bans here. Different order. Phobius is no longer an option. And Joy still.
They banned Joy themselves. So Chip is obviously open.
No way.
And Beloyski might be able to take it here. Again, stealing a stable pick for EDOC and RRQ. And for Beloyski, you never know what he can do with the chip. Scary.
Is that the idea though? Like, okay, you go for the chip, because you're going to be grouped up through the portal, trying to dive. Remember last game, remember that implosion?
Are you saying that another Tig will be picked by RRQ?
I mean, if the chip comes through, that could very well be the angle here for RRQ.
What happened to Carmilla, by the way? Like, it was always picked to counter the chip, and now it's non-existent.
Yeah, no, right. Actually, we haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in any of the games I've been casting this season.
They go Harriet.
Harriet, though, is more prio. Now, the chip did not work out for RRQ in game number 1. So RRQ, they can go for it, but are they confident they're going to have the right follow-up picks afterwards to guarantee success for the team?
Where's RRQ? I think a chip might be picked up here. I mean, the Chusen is not banned, so
yeah, I think Chusen will
that could be a good pick for Rins as well.
Chusen for sure. The chip is the one that I don't know if we're going to see here. Because for RRQ, it would be safer, I guess, to just... Wait, don't go Chusen.
Interesting. They're going for the same angle they did last game as well. Hyla Suyo. I wonder why that's the case. It's almost like we haven't seen them do this against other teams, so it's almost like this is something they have prepared specifically for Geek Fam. I wonder, again, if it's just the way Geek Fam interacts with Dairon. You know, if they want something tanky there, maybe Geek Fam likes to play for the EXP lane more, get gobs ahead, right? So if they put Dairon on something like a Hylas, it's a lot more bearable in that sense. It really seems very Geek Fam specified.
Yeah. Chusen taking up in a lane
early
for Make It reminiscent of game number 1, but yeah, it's pretty early. So I think RRQ could pick up a Faramis as well to play against the Ling. They will pick up the Kimmy. Okay.
Wait, this is looking scary. The RRQ draft, dude. So many slows, so many options.
Yeah.
There's dive threat coming from the Ling and the Harith. But the kite ability here from RRQ cannot be understated. And they banned the Hellcurt as well. I mean, that's a lot of respect, dude, but maybe that's exactly what they need when they're up against the War Crime General himself.
Yeah. They're gonna ban the Cho too, I believe, right now. But the Ling in the first phase, is that a wise move? I guess there's no other jungle left, right? Lucas Haya, Joy, Fanny all banned out, so Ling is probably the best option. I mean, they have Fredrin.
Haya.
Haya banned. Kakashi.
Oh, Kakashi, yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I guess
picture threw you off.
it makes sense then. Yeah, they banned Luo Yi.
Interesting. Alright, but again, this Kimi can be just flexed over to the mid lane. Although we've seen this pick usually go towards Toy, but knowing Keskute, if the going gets tough, when there's a good reason to do so, you're gonna see it flexed around, that's for sure. Now for RRQ, the Cho, they're concerned about the engage and the scouting. That's why the Cho usually gets picked up by Beloyski. But with this composition, I feel like they're not really too concerned about being seen, right? As long as they can maintain a range advantage here using the Kimi to outrange the Harriet and the Tushin, they're fine just being spotted by Geek Fam, I feel like. This might be an angle to deny any kind of playmaking tools. It is going to be a bit more of a playmaking tool. The glue, they can dive in the back and zone the damage dealers. Removed by RRQ, so just setting up for a pure front-to-back composition here.
Yeah. Glue taken out with a Phobius ban as well on the side of Geek Fam. They're about to take the glue to their hands as well. Now, Geek Fam, last ban feels like a very, very strong first phase for RIQ. The Kimmy as well not taken. Most likely going to in the hands of Toy. For Geek Fam, one last ban.
It's gonna be a roamer.
Franco, yeah.
Franco. But in this composition, I mean, Rico, you can testify to this. The Ling against something like a Tigreal, not exactly the most fun of experiences.
No, not really. But I guess you, unlike the Fanny, you don't need to come in first, right? I mean, you can really just wait for the end, and you technically have a way to just Tempest the blades out of it, even if you engage. So, unlike the Fanny's like pure just cables. Vedang's just, yeah. Oh man, Vedang's so good here. RQ, looking back and forth in the drafts here. Like, they don't even need to go for, again, those one-moment picks anymore. They can go back to the old setup game.
Yeah. This is a slow and steady looking composition from RRQ. If they can get a bit more crowd control, a bit more AoE from the mid lane, or even from the gold lane, something that can kind of add on to their safety and their aggression, I think that really shuts down whatever Geek Fam is going to try and do.
They can just go Eve again.
Ooh, yeah.
Eve is nice. Front to back potential is there as well for RRQ. Geek Fam now, 2 last picks. XP and Roam.
The chip is still up for grabs, technically. Yeah. Normally, Beloski would just go for Chol. There you go. Last pick chip.
Oh, interesting.
I am the devourer of stars.
Oh, huh? So Kimmy gold. Against the Jusin, against the chip, technically more survivability.
Yeah. There's a DD.
I mean, that's my solution whenever I'm against a team that will get onto me, I know for sure. I just hop on that Zask real quick. But considering this is RRQ, a pro team with coordination, we are theorizing about the Yi, but I guess the flank angles become too difficult to deal with later on. Yeah, because aside from the damage and the safety that the Zask brings to the table, it's also the utility. He has an AoE, like, thick line stun that he can use to just stop the whole team in his tracks. On top of that, the slow as well.
Yeah. Here we go. It goes down to the last wire. Who will stand tall? Will it be the Kings of Kings? Or will it be the King's Slayers? It is game number 3 of RQ Hoshi against Geek Fam.
Ladies and gentlemen, the battle between number 1 and number 2 on the standings. A full 3-game series. EDOC this time not on those big moment picks. Slow and steady with the Hylos.
They're changing the format here. It was Dairon tanking, it was EDOC engaging, now it's the opposite. That's the flexibility you have when you have these two very playmaking heavy players. Look at Chidera though, taking all that damage. The Kimmy in the lane is deceptively dangerous, I would say. Oh, Dairon, but they're going aggressive here against Gobs.
Ooh, both of them feeling it this time.
Yep. Gonna recall back. Look at RQ though, so active in the early game, and I think so far this last pick is very, very good. Safety, number 1 priority as well. As the link can just jump into you can always pop the DD to have that safety.
Yeah, looking at the emblems here, Rupture and the Williams Blessing for Rins are pretty standard, just a bit more damage. Straight up, because he does do a lot of damage in the early game when people have no option but to walk into those Nightmare spawns. In the lane though, I guess our boy's doing a great job going for the clear. Being short range, he's going to be taking, or at least he's going to be forced to use a lot of the time to try and deal with the Nightmare spawn for sure. Gutsujin though, hanging around in the mid lane. Both these teams have a lot of emphasis in controlling this mid rotation.
They need their hands on the contest as well. As up top, Toys just left alone, E-Dog. This bush might fish for something. So far, RIQ is all moving in unison. Slow tempo from Geek Fam as well. Beloski yet to hit level 4, so no shortcuts. And this turtle might just be given away for RIQ, considering the fact that Make It is up top, taking the orange buff. So yeah, I think it's RIQ's for the taking.
For sure, unless a shortcut comes around, but doesn't seem like Geek Fam even have level 4 just yet. Beloski still sitting at 3. Sutsujin already invading the enemy jungle together with E-Dog. A boy, trying to stop this from happening with Gobs. There will be a steal on the green camp.
Right, I mean, great adjustment from Geek Fam there. A-Kid's trying to get something, knowing exactly that he can't really fight all that reliably in the early game. But now the concern is for a boy. On the Chushin, he wants to kind of get the ball rolling early. He doesn't really scale all that well, especially compared to a Zask, that can really do well with items. So right now, Geek Fam, if they want to play this game, pick-off style, they're going to be relying mostly on the shortcuts and the Lantern Flare for engages. But they don't have a lot of burst damage right here to really help out when RRQ are off position. So again, RRQ can just play it standard. They're not really threatened by anything too crazy right now from Geek Fam.
Of course, MPL IDX streamer,
the Admiral,
by Good Day. We have B. Kent, or Brendan Kent.
The man with the iconic voice, the rock star voice.
It feels like every time he speaks, he's running out of voice,
Yeah, he has a signature Brandon Kent accent. I wonder when he's going to realize that he's be featured.
He usually gets pretty high.
Boy. Let's see with a shortcut. Toy able to flicker out to safety. Never mind. It's still going to be the rundown there with the Earth Shatter. First blood over. Everyone's taking the portal though. It's going to be a brawl up top. Tyron able to find the fist trap. Beloyski going to fall as well. Gobs with the primal rat. Now flickering back. It's going to be Diamond looking for the pin down again. Able to find a boy. Has a stun. A boy very low. Rinse looking for it. Gobs will be fed to the Kings.
Oh, Gobs gone. And RRQ. They take 3 kills. Make it unable to enter the fight as well. Just looking for a salvage onto the purple buff.
Ooh, Toy showing Make-Kids away there. Cheeky move by him. But you can see RRQ and their brawl potential. With the safety they have built into their backline members, they can just take fights just like that. It's going to be a free turtle for them. On top of a winning fight, looking great for RRQ. Already we're seeing again the weakness of the chip. But to Beloyski's credit, if you noticed, he went with the shortcut first, I believe, and then the crash course. Toy was flying out of the danger zone and he got stunned. And that is what allowed Geek Fam to actually secure the kill onto him.
Yeah. Diamond with the Thunderbelt. Taken hands of the Badang. Same build goes for Gobs and Geek Fam. It seems like early on, RQ are very, very well prepared to play the punch back. But for Geek Fam, what do they really want to achieve in game number 3?
Rashi. Well, again, they have to try and use this. They have to try and use a shortcut, try and get the pickoffs, and they're trying to zone as much as possible using a boy, right, against all these short-range heroes from RRQ. But there's just ways for RRQ to go around that. They can get vision with the Nightmare Spawn, harass a boy as well. They're putting it next to him. They have the Kimi for the harassment from the long distance, for the wave clear advantage. Oh, shortcut!
Wow, Suzuki gets away. Tyron, pin down Tyron! Able to get a boy. That should be taken out. Still has to come to begin the flicker, but the sauce follows through. With the minute said, Gobs will fall. Sutsujin gets a kill. First item priority with the War Axe 2.
Whoa, that's gonna give him extra healing, but RRQ, they take the shortcut hitchhiker ride onto Beloyski's car and they get 2 kills. Or rather, a kill to their name. Chidera, though, has to start the site ready.
Oh, conceal? Wait, Beloyski. Interesting conceal usage right there. But again, he still has control. He still has a chance to, surprise RRQ. But no, it's back to the waiting game. And you're seeing, by the way, Rins, with the Dominus Descent, he can just play so aggressive. And this time, there's no risk of him being punished for it. Look at this, already the setup. With Harriet on the far side, Geek Fam are trying to use a shortcut, but the concealed boy, Edok.
Nice hits. Stunned up, pinned down, Tyron. Look at the fist trap, will be able to find it. Oh! JCC, Toy gets a kill on a boy in the mid lane. RRQ back to their normal strat.
It's gone from bad to worse. The King Slayers, their swords dull. And Chidera has to go out!
Punched in the bush, 1v4. You may have the chip, but RRQ are the ones with the man advantage. Beloyski, back. Sutsujin will go for the chase. Shortcut only to get... It's a desperate one.
A call for help by Beloyski, but no one is there to respond. RRQ are just piling up the aggression right now. Rinse flickered there as well, just to ensure that that Chidera does not escape unpunished there. And they have full control right here. The chip, even though there's macro pressure, there's just not enough danger. Oh, the stun!
JCC, Gobs. Oh man. Ling gets a turret down below. No, it's a tier 1 up top. I think the turret down below. Yeah. It's a trade. 4,500 gold lead for the Kings.
Yeah. At least they have a cross map play and make it. In the worst case scenario, you could always play the split push game. Play the long lanes, get the split push going, and just, you know, when a fight breaks out, he has the shortcut to just take a ride, but Edok, it's not going to matter because Geek Fam will peel themselves away.
That was a great ult. Katot from Sutsujin takes the purple buff away, and now the Ling in the first phase is really, really going to struggle.
It's not a fun game as a Ling here.
No, not at all, dude. Man, Geek Fam, again, in theory, have the Ling, have the chip, but they are not having any pressure at all. RRQ are doing a great job forcing these fights out and then hitching a ride onto the shortcuts here.
Yep.
Not really concerned about getting surprised because they have the responses already. And right there, if Dyron did land and catch Geek Fam, this is the problem here. They are forced to respect the engage potential of this Badang, which allows Dyron to just walk up. Oh, shortcut!
Again, it's going to be all of it on Dyron. He likes those odds! Toy gets a kill, a Sky Piercer stack. And it's looking over. Not even a shortcut can get them a kill.
Free Lord for RRQ.
Oh boy, even the Holy Crystal for Toy.
9 minutes.
He has the concentrated energy, the Sky Piercer, and then the Holy Crystal at 9 minutes. He has Sustain, he has Burst, he has Utility. He is an absolute nightmare for Geek Fam right now. And he's not the only one. Rins, like we mentioned, has been such an annoyance right here. And he has a Divine Glaive already, so those zaps can no longer be ignored. Beloyski.
Oh, flickering out.
Just a taunt. And yeah, super safe now. For RRQ, Make-Kids has to hold the Lord by himself. Sutsujin is here, 1v1, imminent.
But Tyron's in the wings though, it's never fair.
Unfair.
Finch poised to the other side. There's a shortcut if they want to go for it, but he will just recall in the bush. But down, Tyron's still looking for the chase, looking for Every single push won't be able to find him. Purple buff. Can they even take it? With Setsujin down below. Uh-oh, 3-man. Flicker out. Purple buff taken by Naked. Scobs goes in. Damage sent. Oh, Rift very low. Naked will decide to run away.
Setsujin?
Finding the assassination! Getting a boy.
He gets there in time. Flashy as ever. As the Lord gets the turret to half HP. But RQ will take it away. Plunder is the name of the game for the Kingdom.
They can just keep doing this. There's nothing stopping them from pushing continuously. Well, Loisky was behind him for the longest time, but he could not find an opportunity, a window to make a play happen. RQ play. The siege game, standing there, forcing Geek Fam members to take some damage.
Loisky.
Sorka will be able to find it onto the back line. Genero with his Mod Force now coming out. Ritz taking down Make It. Flicker flying again. Able to get a 10 to place, but look at the healing from Edog. Make It unable to get the assassination. Toy, President Toy, safe in the back. Setsujin looking to keep on going. Play Surge, so Sever and Toy will just get rid of him. Over. Slowly. But surely, a boy gets the blood wings, but Toy sticks to the base. RRQ will end Beloyski's rebellion.
The King Slayers caught. The Kingdom rejoices and they will punch their tickets to playoffs.
Oh man, it seemed possible. It seemed close for Geek. Fam to once again revive the King Slayer status. But unfortunately, RRQ, they persevered and they got the better of them. And as the games go on, by game 3, Geek Fam was solved.
Going against the Kingdom is a crime. Public execution against them, and there you go. Woo! Qualified to the playoff stage is Rex Regum Kaon.
This was a guarantee, I feel. It's at this point, they're not even looking at the playoffs, they're looking at upper brackets. They have a few more matches to go, but I can't help but feel, man, this is already written down in the history books for them to make it to the upper brackets with Kescute. He has 100% upper bracket rate since he's debuted in BTR, moved to RRQ, and now he's gonna do it again. Must be a coincidence.
Hopefully, it's not the same fate as Pikachu.
I can't believe
their team let him. That was insane, but of course, you want to hear from the players of RRQ up on stage with Bude, Clara, Mongstar.
Dan tiket playoff sudah sold out. Yang pertama kepada tim RRQ. Kingdom mulai berpesta, Kingdom mulai siap-siap langsung untuk menyingsing langsung. Dan di mana kita melihat ini adalah momen yang sungguh berharga untuk kalian mendapatkan tiket playoff. Kalian sadar gak ini adalah match yang seberharga itu?
Ya, semua match sebagai kami berharga.
Tapi ini untuk tiket playoff, Idok?
Ya sekarang lebih aman aja sih, kayak udah lebih seger, lebih enjoy lah.
Enjoy, tapi ngelihat bahwa ini adalah match yang bisa menentukan tiket playoff pertama di sisi 15 ini, kalian ada ngobrol sesuatu nggak sebelum match ini dimulai?
Nggak ada sih, ya. Cuman fokus lawan Geek Fam untuk match kali ini, nggak fokusin playoff juga. Nggak ada mikir sampai playoff, ya mikir untuk match kali ini aja.
Agak kaget berarti ini ya, tiba-tiba wow langsung dapat.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Tapi mereka ini tadi siapa yang paling bisa dibilang mempersiapkan hari ini khusus spesial untuk Geek Fam? Kamu nggak? Kan ada Baloy nih sebagai lawanmu, lawan yang lumayan bisa dibilang seorang veteran. Dan dia juga sudah melalang buana, dan sekarang juga nomor 2 di Geek Fam-nya. Dari Dok sendiri gimana sih dari kemarin persiapan untuk hari ini?
Ya hari ini ya harus lebih siap lagi, lebih disiplin lagi, soalnya gameplay Baloy juga sulit ditebak.
Gameplay Baloy susah ditebak, tapi apa yang kamu lakukan biar bisa untuk mengimbangi gerakan-gerakan Baloy yang susah ditebak itu?
Ya kami main disiplin sama main as a team aja.
Main as a team dan hasilnya rupanya 2-1 didapatkan. Dan Rins, ini mungkin perjalanan yang sungguh tim RRQ karena sampai hari ini kalian tuh benar-benar bisa membuat nama RRQ terus berada di atas. Momen berharga ini, kalau boleh diceritain gak sih Rins dari tim RRQ dan juga Rins di atas terus?
Ya kayak yang gue bilang kemarin sih Bude, kayak tiap ada match tuh kita selalu belajar. Contohnya hari ini kita kayak ngeluarin chest pick juga.
Benar, ini kayaknya kali pertama Bude ngeliat kamu pakai Zas ya?
Ya.
Di season ini?
Ya, padahal di latihan juga nggak ada pakai Jax.
Waduh, wow, gimana Idok ngeliat Rins pakai Zas?
Ya nggak pernah lihat di latihan juga, tapi Zaknya jago.
Wah, tanpa latihan pun. Sudah jago, temannya sendiri langsung mengakui. Tapi ngelihat bahwa hari ini hari yang begitu penting pula. Dan kalau dari kita sendiri akan melihat sesuatu sepertinya. Oke, langsung aja dan inilah kita akan saksikan bersama-sama. Apa yang dipersiapkan? Wah, Idok, kamu berada di MVP, di mana ini leaderboard yang cuma romer itu kamu loh, Dok.
Ya senangnya bisa bersaing sama jungle-jungle, Gorlen gitu.
Bareng jungle-jungle lain. Dan ini persaingan belah tengah juga nih, nomor
Ya, belah tengah.
175. Dan sekarang mana belakangnya?
Ganti rambut.
Oh, ganti rambut. Kenapa ganti rambut?
Nggak ada sih, ganti aja.
Ganti aja. Nanti playoff ganti lagi nggak nih?
Kayaknya ganti.
Pergantian rambut. Tapi melihat bahwa dari season ke season, Dok, kenapa sih kayaknya Romer tuh susah banget masuk leaderboard?
Ya mungkin Romer ya nggak lihat KDA ya, dia rela mati buat timnya menang. Ya gitulah mungkin.
Dan jadi satu-satunya nih, apa sih yang Idok ini boleh dikasih tahu? Mungkin teman-temannya yang bisa ngasih tahu ya. Rin sebagai sobatnya Idok, melihat Idok terpampang besar sekali tuh di situ. Gimana kamu ngelihat satu sosok Romer yang muncul di leaderboard?
Mungkin orang-orang nggak tahu ya kalau Ido ini roamer berdamage.
Oke, damage-nya Idok ternyata.
Iya, top 1 damage di seluruh ini dia, di seluruh role.
Memang ini ya. Jadi yang dipunya adalah damage-nya Idok ya.
Ya,
Makanya muncul. Tapi happy gak sebagai teman wajah Idok muncul di sini?
happy dong, kan setim.
Happy dong, satu tim. Jadi makin penasaran sama Idok. Tapi ini masih dinantikan lagi setelahnya. Di mana hari ini yang bermain Suyo, Bude pikir ini bakal make it. Namun di sini malah ada Susu Jin yang bermain 3 kali Suyo. Ini memang plan kalian untuk deny pick untuk make it kah?
Kalau di naik pick enggak sih, emang udah plannya dari latihan juga udah gitu.
Atau karena kamu suka sama Sasuke?
Enggak, suka Naruto.
Oh, sukanya Naruto-nya. Oh, ini sudah diperjelas ya. Tapi melihat dari persainganmu bersama jungler muda yang dimiliki oleh Geek Fam di leg kedua ini, apakah ada sebuah perubahan atau sebuah perbedaan? Ada yang berkesankah dari match hari ini?
Ya paling yang beda dari leg 1, karena tadi kita coba lawan Fanny-nya, ya Fanny-nya sih yang beda, jago banget.
Jago banget.
Ya.
Oke, iya Fanny dari Idok juga sudah dimunculkan langsung tadi. Tapi kalau kita ngelihat dari banyaknya momen-momen kalau biasanya orang bakal ngebahas tentang objektifnya, ngebahas tentang objektif di match ini. Seberapa intens sih perebutan objektif?
Intens banget sih, tadi rada pusing juga di flicker-flickerin terus.
Sama siapa tuh?
Sama Gops.
Sama Gopsnya. Jadi memang kalau kita ngebahas dengan banyaknya hal-hal yang terjadi, mungkin kita juga bakal ngebahas dengan persaingan antara Toy dan Kecadera. Ini adalah mungkin head to head yang paling menarik yang kita lihat. Gimana Toy match hari ini?
Alhamdulillah senang deh.
Karena apa nih? Senangnya kenapa?
Ya menang.
Bener sih. Masuk playoff sama menangnya lebih seneng mana?
Menang kayaknya.
Lebih seneng menangnya berarti?
Menang.
Menang. Kenapa? Ada hal maksudnya sebelum match kamu memikirkan sesuatu kah yang ingin kamu lakukan di dalam pertandingan dan kamu juga laksanakan?
Ya kalau menang soalnya kalau menang abang gak marah soalnya.
Oke, menghindari ya. Menghindari biar tenang, biar bahagia. Karena ketika menang semua bahagia, tidak marah-marah.
Ya.
Iya. Hari ini berarti kamu bebas dari omelan?
Apa?
Bebas dari marahan, dari omelan. Menang, kan yang penting menang. Walaupun menang 2-1.
Yang penting menang.
Yang penting menang?
Ya.
2-1 gak jadi masalah?
Gak masalah.
Gak masalah. Tapi kalau ngomongin tentang kemenangan dari tim RRQ, Budi jadi penasaran, ini kan udah menang. Udah ngedapetin babak tiket playoff menjadi tim pertama yang men-secure slot babak playoff. Apakah tim RRQ akan mengeksplor hal baru? Akan gak nih? Mungkin Dailan boleh jawab. Hey Dailan.
Apa Bude?
Kalian udah ngedapetin tiket playoff. Jadi apapun yang terjadi nantinya, tidak akan mempengaruhi slot kalian di babak playoff. Akankah dari tim RRQ melakukan sebuah manuver atau gerakan?
Ya kita step by step aja Bude, kayak lolos playoff, terus ya target kita selanjutnya upper bracket, nah gitu sih.
Masih upper bracket?
Ya dong.
Emang bakal susah nih upper bracket buat kalian?
Ya pasti semua tim ini sih, apa namanya,
bersaing?
Ya selalu bersaing lah kayak gitu. Jadi ya kita tetap waspadain aja semua tim.
Jadi masih dengan fokusnya mengamankan upper bracket karena tiket playoff aja nggak cukup, mereka ingin tempat yang lebih nyaman. Dan dengan ngedapetin tiket playoff ini kalian terus berada di atas juga. Ini sebelum season dimulai, kalian emang udah ada rencana mau mendominasi season ini?
Enggak sih Bude, kita ya itu tadi step by step fokus match yang di depan mata sama hoki Bude.
Hoki Bude muncul udah, HP udah muncul nih. Tapi berarti kalau ngebahas tentang step by step, ini step yang sudah sangat manis dari tim RRQ. Terus menerus tiket pertama sudah didapatkan dan kemenangan hari ini dan tiket playoff mau kalian persembahkan kepada siapa sih?
Ya tiket playoff kami sembahkan kepada Kingdom yang datang ke sini, yang nonton di rumah, dan yang lagi RKK di Palangkaraya.
Palangkaraya dari Kalimantan nih, pada lagi rame-rame ngumpul dan juga rame banget. Dan Dok, mau udah kasih tau sesuatu nggak? Sekarang poinmu udah bukan 75 lagi.
Jadi berapa?
Poinnya udah sangat tinggi. Sudah 92. Jadi nomor satunya udah bukan 2 orang, tapi hanya Idok di atas. Wow.
Alhamdulillah Bude.
Alhamdulillah lagi. Tapi memang semuanya patut disyukuri. Perjalanan kalian akan kita saksikan lagi di minggu ke-8 dan ke-9. Boleh mungkin yang lain juga mau menyampaikan sesuatu?
Ya buat Kingdom dimanapun berada, tetap dukung kita terus ya. Semoga kita bisa kasih yang terbaik di setiap match-nya. Amin.
Amin. Semua Kingdom pasti sedang bersorak-sorai. Mereka juga lagi mempersiapkan untuk babak playoff. Tiket harus di-secure dan kali ini mari kita persiapkan, kita sambut kemenangan dari Raja dari segala raja tim RRQ. Sedang berfokus untuk menselebrasi. Bagaimana tidak, tiket playoff pertama dari 6 tiket akhirnya sold out kepada tim RRQ. Dan Bude Clara di sini akan membuat kalian lebih bahagia lagi karena ada apa? Ada GoPay hadiah GG. Caranya gampang banget, yang penting kalian udah punya aplikasi GoPay. Jadi buat yang ada di sini, siapkan device kalian, siapkan smartphone kalian karena caranya akan Bude kasih tahu sekarang juga. Nah, ini dia cara untuk ngedapetin GoPay hadiah GG. Pertama-tama sudah pastikan kalian punya. Kalau yang belum punya langsung aja download. Langsung aja unduh aplikasi GoPay di Play Store atau App Store. Pokoknya semuanya bisa. Dan setelah itu buka kamera pada smartphone untuk scan QR code-nya. Dan setelah di-scan, kalian tinggal klik buka hadiah. Kalau kalian udah buka hadiahnya, otomatis GoPay Coins akan kalian dapatkan. Jadi siapkan device kalian, siapkan. Udah pada tinggi-tinggi? Udah pada punya? Udah pada ready? Ready? Nanti QR-nya akan ada yang di biru-biru situ. Kita akan hitung mundur bersama. Inilah dia, GoPay hadiah GG dalam 3, 2, 1, let's go! Asik! Ayo, yang udah dapet langsung tunjukin ke Bude. Kasih lihat. Tuh. Congratulations! Selamat! Asik, dapat GoPay Coin. Selamat kalian, congrats. Asik banget ya, habis ini bisa pada happy-happy bersama. Memang GoPay itu begitu baik dan membuat kita semakin happy juga. Tapi kita juga di sini semakin kepengen tahu nggak sih, bagaimana tim RRQ bisa mendominasi di game yang ketiga. Setelah game 1, game 2 bisa back and forth, tapi game ketiga RRQ terlihat semakin menguat. Tiket pertama playoff sudah sold out. Bagaimana game ketiga? Langsung saja jelaskan, caster. Kita mau denger nih.
You know what I'm doing?
What's that?
I'm punching.
Badang?
No.
What is this?
Punching tickets to playoffs.
Oh,
hey,
RRQ.
I'm pretty sure the punching looks more like this if it's about tickets, you know.
That's true.
No, this
I don't
is
see people in the stations like, where's your ticket, sir? That's a bit concerning.
I mean, at least RRQ are able to get to playoffs, but like Miracle mentioned, it's not about, as of now, it's almost like a confirmation, a certainty that RRQ will make playoffs. Now they're going to eye for the upper brackets.
Yep.
And that seeding is very important.
This is their last top tier match in my opinion, right? Like all the other matches that are top tier, they've gone through already. So, actually they still have Liquid, I think. So I guess that will be the only match that can really stop and derail the upper bracket train.
He's very cool.
Got a swag there.
Of course, the MVP, the player of the match, it is EVOS. And we talked about, we're thinking of monikers to give this guy, but I think his place speaks for himself.
Yeah, I think it's just simply EVOS, dude.
Yeah.
And man, even here, before we talk about the big crazy moments, he's just able to find ways, again, to just assist with the team. And when he doesn't really make the main play happen, he can just be on the assistant role, and Dyron is the one that picks up the heavy lifting when it comes to the engages. Even Rin's technically on the Zask. I'm surprised that they mentioned in the interview that they haven't tried it out in scrims. It's not a strat they've been saving. It's just something they thought would fit here, and they decided, you know what, screw it, why not? And it really worked out, man. I'm a big fan of these kind of heroes that aren't super mechanical, but has high impact. And you definitely saw how troublesome it was for Geek Fam to find them in the middle of a fight, to get stunned like that, 3-man stun on the Zask. Not a lot of heroes have that kind of impact, and not a lot of heroes can stun that reliably. So Dyron and Rins on top of it, is it just allows EVOS to just play for the macro focus, for those glorious pathways, and just to rush in the front and tank the damage and slow everyone down. It's just a composition that works so well. And you have to give credit to the coaching staff for coming up with something like this, man. Cascade, how do you do it?
Like you said, playing Zazz is easy. You just have to play safe, but having an impact in the game is hard. And I believe Rins was able to give that impact with the stuns and just, the countless amounts of escape he was able to pull off against Makekids. And taking a look at the item build, of course, Radiant Armor in hands with Gobs, and as well as Beloyski, because he needs to mitigate all the magic damage given by Toy, and even, with the Zazz in hands of Rins.
And that's where, when they're focused too much on that, that's where the Suyo can kind of get in and do a lot of that physical damage, and Geek Fam won't be ready for it. And before even talking about the Suyo, let's talk about the damage coming in from the Madang too. For the most part, whenever Dairon engages, right, everyone's down to half HP, dude. That's the danger here. You're forced to deal with this magical long-distance harassment. But then when the fight actually begins, what they're taking is physical damage. And because of that, there's just no way in. You either get harassed and start the fight low, or you start the fight full HP against a Badang that's gonna beat you up before the fight even begins properly.
Toy, it was 9 minutes for the Sky Piercer, the Holy Crystal as well, so it was...
And the Concentrated Energy.
The Concentrated Energy as well,
yeah. The Power Spike at 9 minutes.
That was insane.
The big key as well for RRQ, especially when they get this, their composition to play their style of MLBB, is just an overloaded kit of CC. Every single member on this team can CC. The Zazz, the Hylos, obviously, but the Badang and Suyo, and even the Kimi can CC. So you really saw how Geek Fam were struggling. Every time they would go in with the shortcut, they would be CC. The momentum would be stopped right there. Usually with a chip, he comes in, your guy dies before he can do anything. But when you have a way to CC to stop that die from happening, you technically force a front to back with a front to back comp.
Exactly. And this might be the go-to solution now for the chip, because again, you're just not as vulnerable. You're not locked down as long against the chip now. So there's moments where you can just flicker out. You can send the skill out and stop everyone. And dude, this is a strategy that a lot of teams can use to shut down the chip. I mean, I can see EVOS pulling this off. I can see Bigatron pulling off something like this. Have everyone have some form of crowd control. Wait till they funnel through the portal and just punish, dude. And I guess against Geek Fam in particular, their tendency to stick together, to go for that one big moment as a team, that's a strong point for Geek Fam. But against a comp like this with multiple ways of punishing, the crowding of Geek Fam, you saw it in game number 2 with the implosion. You're seeing it again there. 3-man stun on the Zazz, 3-man, what do you call it, like pull with the Kimi, right? There's just so many ways to go for the punish.
Yep. RRQ, sublime game, but of course, we cannot discredit Geek Fam because they were able to stomp on RRQ in game number 1, even though game number 2 was, I wouldn't say a throw, but RRQ just got the better of them, and yeah, the comeback was there, it was imminent, and of course, EDOC, X Factor, by the way, so this guy, it's insane.
The X Factor, is that it?
The generational talent. We'll find a moniker for him very soon, but...
The middle parted, the roamer.
Moses. EDOC Moses Hoshimanjaro.
What the heck is that? Hoshimanjaro.
Hoshimanjaro.
Because it's
add more and more names to the back. Every single win adds into another part of the name. So we started with Hoshiman, now Hoshimanjaro. It could be Hoshimanjaro Jonathan Gray later.
Whoa.
But of course, we have a losers interview coming soon. I believe it's with Dora DSP.
Dora the Explorer.
And
let's explore
we really want to have
interview.
insights onto why they lost. So of course, losers interview with Dora DSP.
Tangkap Caster kembali bersama Alisa dan kali ini bersama Coach Dora. Halo Coach.
Halo.
Kata Coach Dora, kita akhirnya bertemu lagi. Coach Dora nggak mau sebenarnya ketemu lagi di sini ya Coach.
Jangan.
Jangan sampai ya Coach. Dan tadi melihat nih Coach jalannya match. Terkena reverse sweep dan ditutup dengan one-sided game. Ada apa sebenarnya?
Ya banyak eksekusi kita yang salah sih di game terakhir. Banyak yang bisa di-improve juga dari draft juga. Tapi tadi mereka main bagus juga.
Oke, tapi kalau melihat dari draftnya RRQ sendiri ini sangat berdinamika. Apakah ini yang menjadi masalah dari Geek sendiri?
Draft mereka bagus sih. Tapi kita juga tadi bisa imbangin juga sih. Dan kita bisa pakai draft yang bagus juga. Tapi mungkin kita juga harus lebih improve di draft juga. Mungkin kalau bahas draft mungkin lebih banyak option.
Oke, tapi kalau misalkan tadi terkait tiba-tiba di last pick-nya sendiri ada Zazz. Itu seperti apa nih Coach?
Ya good pick sih, soalnya counter Juxin juga kan. Terus dia juga bagus lah itu buat team fight-nya mereka. Jadi itu good pick sih sebenarnya.
Good pick sekali ya. Dan kalau melihat nih masih soal draft juga nih Coach. 3 kali Suyo dari Susujin pilih dan Geek merasa itu deny pick. Apakah itu deny pick untuk Makekids?
Mungkin, tapi mungkin itu juga komposisi yang pas buat tim mereka juga ya gitu. Karena mereka juga kuat di team fight early ya terutama. Tapi kalau di Nepik kurang tahu sih, tapi mungkin aja tergantung coach.
Tergantung coach. Oke, tapi kalau dari Coach Dora sendiri melihat EDOC nih, terutama EDOC sendiri yang menjadi MVP ya. Gimana nih Coach?
Ya emang bagus sih dia emang momentum tahu dia dari dulu juga sih. Jadi dia emang bagus kalau dapetin momentum-momentum, terutama pas lagi momen krusial. Ya buat Idok keep improve ya.
Keep improve ya pastinya, dan kita melihat tadi Idok sendiri selalu menciptakan momen-momen krusial, terutama tadi di game kedua, di mana tadi sebenarnya sudah bisa lead ya di awal game, namun sayang sekali keadaan ini berbalik. Namun coach, mungkin untuk pesan-pesan untuk Geek Fam Unity yang nonton di rumah, silakan.
Ya, good buat kekalahan hari ini, terutama kita lawan tim bagus juga, kita belajar banyak juga dari draft, dari in-game. Masih banyak waktu, fokus kita di playoff, nanti mungkin kita bakal balas di playoff gitu.
Masih banyak waktu, masih banyak kesempatan, pastinya hope for the best untuk Geek, dan kita lihat ya nanti di playoff ya coach, pastinya. Thank you so much Coach Dora.
Sama-sama.
Dan pastikan teman-teman semua, para super fans, jangan lupa dukung tim kesayangan kalian, dan kita akan melihat apakah ada analisis tambahan dari para caster. Silakan caster, take it over.
That was Dora DSP, of course, Geek Fam. This loss will be a learning, of course, but it's not the end of the world for them because they're number 2 right now in the standings. But that could all, shift earlier later because we have 2 more games to come. Navi against Bigatron and TLID.
And they did say, I like it. Dora DSP instantly said that the drafts could be better. So they figured out what the problem was in that game, and I agree. Game number 3, the draft was definitely a bit weird, seeing the Harris first pick. All right, but yeah, I like it. I like that they already dissected their problems.
Yeah, we all like it. But of course, we will take a break before we prepare for Navi against Bigatron. So, prepare your snacks, prepare everything you need, your drinks.
Your sucrose.
Prepare your Bigatron jersey, because by the way, my sister just bought the varsity jacket.
Memphis?
Yeah, the one. But it's too big for her, so I think I'm gonna use it.
It's very big.
It's very big, yeah. And my sister's like very small. Very small.
All right. Well, man, so there's 2 more matches to go today.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. You see the hair? We're gonna get our win today.
Please, Navi.
Please, Navi. Please, Navi.
Please, Navi.
If Navi wins, I'll get my hair blonde.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go Kyrie mode. Bro.
Okay. We got it here. So of course we'll be back for MPLID Season 15. We'll see you after the break.
Ya, aku bareng. Ulang dong.
Gak perlu.
Guys, review. Walau yang lain terus berubah, kopi konsisten, kasih yang pasti murah. Tagihan murah di aplikasi Kopi. Transfer 100 kali per bulan. Download aplikasi Kopi baru, nggak pakai lama. Dompet andalan gamers banyak damage-nya.
Rasa baru makin seru. Pertama di Indonesia, kopi susu rasa cookies. Always ready, warnai harimu. Good Day Groovy Cookies. Nikmati sensasi asyik kopi cookiesnya.
Tak ada hari tanpa mabar. Main ngelek, kerap buatku tak sabar. Gimana mau main sampai kelar? Ini waktunya ku bersinar. Oke, let's do it. Games match andalanku bikin mainku semakin hebat. Tim stabil main makin mulus, rankku fix naik terus. Tukar DG rings, diamond dan voucher game kau dapat. Cuma Games Max makin no debat.
Games Max Booster, kini dapat DG Rings. Beli paketnya dan aktifkan boosternya di aplikasi Dunia Games.